the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You were, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man, Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film, Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
A Georgia student accepted to nearly 24 schools and colleges, her potential scholarships totaling some $400,000. Why, she says she initially thought maybe college wasn't even in her future.
Plus, parents have heard the warnings about vaping, but what about dabbing? The dangerous trend that's slipping under the radar.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
We start off this Friday evening with breaking news in Douglasville, where police found a person shot to death near 2 elementary schools. This happened on Oak Street, close to Burnett and East Side Elementary Schools, but there's no information to suggest that the shooting is in any way tied to either of those schools. We have a crew on the scene, and we'll bring you a live report coming up at primetime at 9. New tonight on Primetime, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office has released dash cam and body cam video of a man driving 126 miles per hour.
This was, of course, on Georgia 400. It happened Tuesday night with what they found in his car. After pulling him over, led to even more charges.
We're going to catch up to a silver Dodge Challenger, excess of 126 miles an hour.
126 miles an hour.
My wife is...
Don't go reaching. Don't reach.
No, I'm sorry. My driver's license is
Here, step out of the car for me.
Look.
You don't have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
No, come on over here.
No, I'm sorry. No,
Come on over here. Come in front of my car. I just didn't like you reaching, man. Come on.
No, I don't want... I don't have nothing.
All right, cool.
I don't want... Hey, I just try to get to my wife.
Can I pat you down real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please don't lock me up for that. I heard my wife...
Did I say I was locking you up for that? Here's relax, okay? Relax. You relaxed, I'm relaxed, okay? I'll just place your hands behind your back.
You finna lock me up?
Yes, sir.
Please, I'm not even... No, I just won't. Please let me talk to my wife.
We'll let you call.
No, wife. I'm talking about wife.
All right, that's 27-year-old Dorinchino Cox being arrested for reckless driving and marijuana possession. But he got away from the arresting deputies, leading them on a foot chase.
He's running.
Get on the ground.
What I need you to do is I need you to take some deep breaths and relax for us.
I want to die.
Listen to me. I just want you to relax for me. You're not going to get hurt.
Well, Cox is now facing a slew of additional charges tonight. As you might imagine, after seeing that, he is being held without bail in the Forsyth County Jail.
If it was a girl who had been attacked by a school staffer, the district would have reacted differently. That is the claim from a family who says that the Atlanta Public Schools did not protect their son from a parapro charged with repeatedly sexually assaulting him. And now they are suing the district and federal court. Joe Hankey following that story for us tonight.
Sanchez Waller worked at Bunch Middle School in southwest Atlanta as a paraprofessional until his arrest and firing from Atlanta Public Schools in May of 2018. A federal lawsuit filed this week names Waller, APS Superintendent Maria Karstarfin, and Associate Superintendent Tommy Usher as defendants. In the lawsuit, the plaintiffs allege in 2017 Waller punched and grabbed a boy student in the genitals at school, but the plaintiff says APS violated its own policy and did not properly investigate the complaint and did not take other appropriate actions against Waller. Instead, the lawsuit alleges he returned to work the same day. The parents of a 13-year-old boy believe a lack of action by the district allowed for their son to later become a victim. In the spring semester of 2018, Waller is accused of sexually assaulting the teen 7 different times at the school. This flyer from the school shows on May 4th the school honored Waller as Support Staff of the Year. The next day, the boy told his parents about the alleged assaults, and they then filed a complaint with the school. Days later, Waller would be arrested and fired by APS, but before being fired, the federal lawsuit states Waller encouraged students to threaten and intimidate the teen. The plaintiffs say this led to harassment and bullying, with students telling the boy he would be jumped or his home would be shot up if he returned to the middle school in the fall or later attended a nearby APS high school.
APS today released a statement. A district spokesman said the district is aware of the criminal charges that Waller is now facing. And when asked about the federal lawsuit filed this week, he said APS does not comment on active litigation, but they dispute this matter being handled improperly.
A Mexican national was the 6th person to die in ICE custody here in Georgia. And while it happened 6 months ago, today several advocacy groups gathered in Metro Atlanta to honor his memory. Our Elwin Lopez joins us now with the story. Elwin?
Yeah, Jennifer. So Kevin Karen with Georgia Detention Watch says that Valentine's Day is a day to celebrate with your loved ones. And while he says the Mexican consulate has yet to find any of Pedro Arriago Santoya's family members, it was important for him and others to honor him today.
I mean, we were mourning these men who we've lost.
Dozens showed up to honor Pedro Arriago Santoya, a Mexican national who died in ICE custody last July after ICE says he went into cardiac arrest and could not be revived. He was the 6th detainee to die in ICE custody here in Georgia. And while it's been 6 months, Kevin Karen with Georgia Detention Watch says it took a while to figure out where he was buried.
This process took some time, and then, of course, there's logistics and things, and that's why we decided to do it today. And we did choose Valentine's Day because it is a day where we celebrate our loved ones.
Advocacy groups and community members first gathered at the ICE field office in downtown Atlanta and then drove to Forest Park to Arriago Santoya's unmarked grave. And Karen told me today that a family member of another detainee who also died in ICE custody actually sent a letter to the groups ahead of this event today to show their support and condolences.
Well, the cold air is here. I know you've been feeling it out there today, where our high temperature made it up to 52 degrees, just a little bit below the average. And the really cold air is more up to the north of us. And the mild air that we have been experiencing over the past few days, that's pushing down to the south. And we'll just be feeling pretty comfortable as we go through the weekend. It's going to be really chilly here tomorrow morning, starting off with temperatures that'll be below freezing at 30 degrees. But then in the afternoon, we start to moderate a little bit. We'll be just a couple of degrees warmer tomorrow than we were today, getting up to about 54. And then moving into Sunday, again, that colder air bottled up to the north will begin to just slowly, gradually warm up as we head into the weekend. Sunday afternoon will be in the mid and upper 50s, and then warming even more as we go into next week with temperatures that go back into the 60s here for the first part of the week. But with that, we will also see some rain chances increasing. We'll break that down for you coming up in the 7-day outlook.
2 men accused of being part of a hate group in North Georgia will not get out on bond. It tops our speed feed on this Friday night. Investigators said they uncovered a white nationalist group's plan to kill a couple in Bartow County. Michael Helterbrand and Jacob Cardelli are now accused of being members of a group called The Base. Court documents say they, along with a man named Luke Lane, wanted to kill the couple because they were allegedly part of an opposing left-wing group. Helterbrand and Catterley now appeared in Floyd County Court today, where they were denied bond. A domestic dispute turns deadly in Paulding County. A man is accused of shooting his family and killing his 21-year-old stepson. Earl Weems is accused of shooting his wife, his stepson, and his stepson's girlfriend Tuesday evening at the family's home in Dallas, Georgia. His stepson, Amari Beavers, died, but the other 2 victims survived. Right now, Weems is charged with aggravated assault, but investigators say more charges could be filed very soon. The last round of voting machines have been shipped out to 6 Georgia counties, including Gwinnett, one of the largest counties in the state. In fact, it ranks number 2. There are now 30,000 new machines spread out across our state. Election officials who are just receiving them have about 2 weeks to test them before the early voting begins in Georgia's presidential primary. And security is at top of mind. They are testing everything on these machines, from the touch screens to the scanners to the ballot box, to make sure that they are indeed ready.
We've done inspections of polling locations and warehouses around the state. We are supplying cameras for the counties that they can monitor and we can monitor. So we have thought about security thoroughly given the environment we're in.
Early voting begins March 2nd. The primary now March 24th.
Georgia's newest senator, Kelly Loeffler, made a rare campaign appearance in Marietta today. She's facing a challenge in March from Republican Congressman as well, Doug Collins, but she's managed to convert a former skeptic. 11Alive's Doug Richards has more.
The event here in Marietta was easily the highest profile event Senator Loeffler has done since she took office a month ago. Kelly Loeffler was at the center of a tour of a pro-life women's clinic blocks from the Marietta Square.
How's it going?
In tow was Governor Brian Kemp, the man who made the controversial call to appoint the wealthy campaign donor and political newcomer to fill the Senate seat of Johnny Isakson.
In short, I'm impressed. She's only been up there a month, but she's already getting the job done. Over the last, absolutely.
Less impressed is Congressman Doug Collins, the North Georgia Republican who says he will challenge Loeffler in this November's special election. Democrat Raphael Warnock, pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church, will also try to unseat Loeffler.
Hey, Senator, how are you?
Loeffler's visit here was staged to show her anti-abortion commitment, an issue that she hopes will draw a core of conservative voters to her candidacy.
They understand my pro-life focus, and I've backed that up by my action in the Senate, sponsoring 4 pro-life bills.
And it nullified a warning issued by the anti-abortion Susan B. Anthony's list, which wrote in November that Loeffler's presence on the board of Grady Hospital, which it called a training ground for abortionists, should disqualify her from the Senate seat. In Marietta, the woman who wrote that retracted it and described Loeffler as a pro-life partner.
Just say that I was surprised by joy and didn't realize fully who Kelly was then, but now I know, and we're excited about the future.
Meantime, Collins Camp tells us Doug Collins' pro-life credentials are second to none and were earned through years of fighting for the cause.
I hope Georgians now know that as a Christian and lifelong pro-life conservative, I will always defend life. I will...
Loeffler is expected to get another Democratic opponent next week when former U.S. Attorney and State Senator Ed Tarver announces he's running.
Disturbing new updates in the death of a missing 6-year-old girl out of South Carolina. What investigators have found next.
And don't forget, we are streaming right now on our 11Alive YouTube channel. You can subscribe, join the conversation in the community section. There's more 11Alive news in prime time coming up.
Now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, call me, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what I'm doing was beta material.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed morning rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more.
A 30-year-old neighbor is now linked to the death of a South Carolina girl after he was also found dead following a visit from police. Officers have not said outright that Cody Taylor killed 6-year-old Faye Swetlick, but they did say they are not seeking anyone else in this case. The neighbor's body was discovered yesterday shortly after police discovered Faye's body in some woods. The little girl disappeared Monday while playing in her front yard after school. Investigators say they were able to find her body after discovering evidence in a trash can. Police say they had interviewed the neighbor and had even been inside his home before finding the little girl's body. His house is about 150 feet away from the corner where that little girl's family lives. Tonight, police insist that the community is safe.
This time I want to assure you, our community, and all of our parents out there that we have no reason to believe that there is an active threat in the Churchill Heights community or the city of Casey as a whole.
Police say the neighbor had no known criminal history. At this point, they have not said how the little girl or that man died.
I shouted out, "You know it ain't me, you know it ain't me. I'm not the perpetrator. I'm not your guy."
Jimmy Gardner sat in jail for 26 years for a crime the court would later rule he did not commit. It's stories like Mr. Gardner's that have prompted Fulton County to create the state's first unit to take a second look at cases that defendants claim the state got wrong.
I don't think that any human being should spend 1 second in a jail if that person is not justly convicted.
A Reveal investigation takes a look at who is asking for a second chance to prove their innocence tonight on Update at 11.
Well, we've been saying it all along. It's going to be some nice cuddling weather here tonight for your Valentine's Day evening. We have temperatures that are going to be falling from the low 40s into the 30s pretty quickly between now and 10 o'clock. We think by 10, we'll be around 36 degrees. And then temperatures at midnight at 34. And then after midnight, we're going to see a few hours with temperatures that are going to be holding pretty much just below freezing, right at 31 at 2 o'clock, 30 at 4 in the morning, 31 at 6 in the morning, and then 32 at 8 o'clock in the morning, as we will see mainly clear skies. And then a beautiful sunrise tomorrow, although it's going to be a chilly one at 30 degrees. We will warm up in the afternoon tomorrow, just a few degrees warmer than we were today, getting up to about 54 degrees. Mostly sunny skies. Going to be a really nice day out there. We're going with a 9 on the wazometer. That's our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. Not quite a 10 or 11, just because these temperatures are going to be so chilly out there, and they are below the average. Now tonight, we're going to be watching this blue line right up here to the north at 10 o'clock. That's the freezing line. And so we'll see those freezing temperatures sooner up in North Georgia, and then watch how that line sags down toward the south, and by 7 in the morning, and really 5 to 7 in the morning, that's when we'll see more of those temperatures that will be below freezing. Really everybody north of that line will see those below freezing temperatures. And then we gradually start warming up during the day. At lunchtime, mostly sunny skies. In the afternoon, it's still going to be mostly sunny with temperatures there in the mid 50s for the afternoon versus the lower 50s that we had out there today. And then on Sunday, we have a little bit of an easterly flow trying to set up. We'll see a few more clouds that will mix in on Sunday. I'm not really concerned about a rain chance for us, just a few more clouds to block out the sun at times. But then in the afternoon, we'll also see a little bit of sunshine breaking through. The rain chances will be coming back as we go into next week. On Monday, it's a low rain chance. We're just going with a 20% chance for showers, and I really think those chances will be higher as you go down to the south of the city. And then more of that moisture starts feeding in on Tuesday. Tuesday is the day with our highest rain chances, and then we will see some of those rain chances even lingering into Thursday into next week. So here's that 7-day outlook: 54 Saturday, 58 Sunday. The rain chances here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Highs in the 60s Monday and Tuesday. We'll keep watching Thursday, though, as we'll have a little moisture left behind with the cooler air that's moving in. Temperatures in the 40s for Thursday before we dry out again by Friday.
What do you have? Bad weather, good weather. We get it up.
It's just unbelievable the weather we've had. It goes from summer to winter. Today's like 30-something degrees, and yesterday's like 70, 80s.
It's too much rain. Goodbye, good riddance. I'm ready for summer.
Here in Atlanta, Georgia, you don't know what you're going to expect. Winter, spring, summer, and fall all in one day.
It's been warm, it's been cold, and it's been snowy. And
I thought I saw some hail. It looked like little pebbles,
And tornadoes.
Flooding underneath the house, Lord of mercy.
Windy weather, cold weather, extremely warm weather. We had to turn on the air conditioning, and we had to turn the heat back on.
And now it's raining, and I just accept it, and I adjust, and according to what's going on.
It's been crazy. If you know Georgia, you already know you get anything.
It's been crazy.
Now we have sunshine in Atlanta.
I'm telling you, it's been crazy. I've lived in Georgia nearly all my life. Never seen anything like it.
What do you have? What do you have? It's Atlanta weather.
The varsity food sounds good on a Friday night, doesn't it? It sounds very good. The story of this brave 5-year-old has touched so many of you. You've written about him on our Facebook page, and he helped rescue 7 people, including his 2-year-old sister from a house fire. Latasha Givens shares how he was honored today.
5-year-old Noah Woods became an honorary firefighter today in Bartow County. It was for his bravery earlier this week when he saved his family from a fire. Officials say flames quickly spread through the family's Kingston home when an overloaded socket sparked a fire. With no working smoke detectors, Chief Dwayne Jamison says Noah was the first to wake up. The 5-year-old jumped into action, grabbing his 2-year-old sister Lily and their dog. Touching and stepping on hot furniture, Noah climbed through his window and let them out to safety. Noah's dad, Alan Wood, says when he and his wife woke up, they ran to the kids' room.
Gusts of smoke hit me and her instantly, singed our facial hairs and hair.
So they ran outside to the kids' room window, when out of nowhere.
And then my son walks up holding his sister and the dog in his arms.
Noah had also alerted other relatives living on the property, saving a total of 7 family members and their dog.
He's always been an outgoing person, and I'm just proud to be able to say I'm his father.
That's quite amazing because a lot of adults wouldn't have acted that calmly and that quickly to be able to know to do that.
So on Friday, the Bartow County Fire Department held a special ceremony for Noah. They didn't have a uniform to fit him, but they did find firefighter PJs, and the 5-year-old was given an official department badge and a life-saving Valor Award for his act of bravery. And from now on, Valentine's Day in Bartow County is also known as Noah Woods Day.
Yep, he protected us all.
Like those firefighting pajamas, man. Those are good looking. We are told the governor's office is also sending Noah something in the mail ahead of his visit to the state capitol. Congrats to him. There's a new trend with teenagers. It's called dabbing. It has nothing to do with Cam Newton. It is dabbing of another kind, smoking THC, a new poll revealing it's pretty popular.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. Even more beautiful skin, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Block, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John.
New trends come around all the time, but a new poll suggests that there are a lot of parents not aware of this one, and it is called dabbing. It's a more potent way to smoke marijuana.
The levels of THC can be up to 4 times what someone would get from smoking the plant, and it seems to be growing more and more popular with teenagers. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez is taking a closer look at the trend.
If you're a parent who hasn't heard of dabbing, a potentially dangerous way of inhaling a concentrated dose of marijuana, you're not alone.
I thought dabbing was a dance.
But chances are your kids know what it is, and that's where the threat lies.
It's just like an extract from pot. It's just stronger, more potent.
A dab, also known as wax or glass, is a highly concentrated form of THC, the chemical in marijuana that gets you high. It appears as a waxy substance and can be inhaled through traditional pipe smoking or through dab pens, similar to vaping. According to a new survey by Axios, half of the 18 to 24-year-olds surveyed have done it or know someone who has. That number fell to 32% among 25 to 34-year-olds and continued to decline as respondents got older. Dabbing is much more powerful than traditional marijuana. While a typical joint contains roughly 25% THC, a dab can have up to 90%.
This is 1 gram.
Kevin Grossman is a 26-year-old dabber in Los Angeles, where it's legal above the age of 21 to consume and possess up to 8 grams.
You're going to be able to get the feeling that you want a little bit faster if you're a heavy smoker. If you're a light smoker, dabbing is going to kind of take you to another planet.
Proponents say THC concentrates like dabbing in oils can offer a more controlled dosage and fewer toxins than actually smoking the marijuana plant. But younger people and inexperienced users may be unaware of the higher THC levels, inhaling a dangerously high dose.
What's the most dangerous part of this?
So the most dangerous part about dabbing is a short-term danger, which means it causes issues like heart palpitations, anxiety. We see them in the emergency room with panic attacks.
In September, a Texas high school student passed out and was taken to the hospital after taking a hit from a friend's dab pen at choir practice. The student was treated and released.
Long-term, it can cause addiction or dependence problems, but it also causes other issues, especially with testing or thinking or math-type problems, which could be lifelong issues.
11 states plus Washington, D.C. have legalized recreational marijuana use for those 21 and older.
Legislators in Washington state, though, recently introduced a bill that would cap the limit of THC in concentrates at 10%. Still ahead tonight, her love for school is certainly paying off in a big way. How one Georgia student received more than $400,000 in college scholarships.
To tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together our voices grow. Together we come alive. Amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
And cliffhangers.
They would wait the next week. What's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions, and who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on The Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week.
It's one of the worst things that we talk about here. It's so hard to report, so hard to even think about, to conceptualize crimes against children. And tonight, police are investigating a sexual assault in a first-grade classroom.
A DeKalb County mother says the school failed to protect her son when another 6-year-old targeted him. She sat down exclusively with Caitlin Ross, and we're protecting her identity because her child was the alleged victim of a sex crime.
He writes me love notes every day. If I'm still asleep when he wakes up, he's the one kissing my forehead.
Her 6-year-old used to write, "Mommy, I love you." Now he tells her he's scared.
Now he's writing himself notes to beat somebody up when they touch him. So something that he used to do for me is now getting turned into something else because he's afraid of going to school.
Afraid because she says he has been molested 3 times in the past 3 weeks. The first time on a school bus.
He had pulled up his shirt, pulled down his pants, and tickled his pee-pee on the bus. Of course, me being furious, all types of thoughts started running through my mind. I started trying to ask him more questions to see if anything else had happened.
She says the administration at Rock Chapel Elementary School made excuses.
He was horsing around. He's a wild kid, and he was just doing what he normally does, and it was an accident.
But a week later, she says it happened again. Her son arrived at school bleeding with a fat lip. He told his mom the other boy hit his head and molested him again.
I let them do the investigation. She contacted me back and told me that the bus driver that day was a substitute bus driver, and that she assured me that my baby was safe now after that.
She says the school told her the 2 boys would be kept apart, but it happened again, this time in a classroom.
My son was afraid, of course, not knowing what's going to happen, because he's already been molested 3 times with this child, and nobody is helping him out.
She says she was told a teacher witnessed what happened and pulled the other little boy off, but no one called police. She says she was told the other little boy was then put in a different classroom.
She just kept telling me how, everybody's up to speed now, and basically now, this time, they're going to do it right this time. After the 3rd time, my son has been molested in their care.
According to the DeKalb County Student Handbook, sexual misconduct at the elementary level should have triggered an automatic 6 to 10 day suspension. We asked the school district whether the other child was disciplined. In a statement, they told us the safety of every student is always a top priority for the DeKalb County School District, and school police are aware of the allegations. But this is an open and ongoing investigation, so they are not able to provide a statement at this time. The mom says the situation has left her feeling helpless.
For me to promise him that he's going to be safe and then it happened to him again, it just makes me feel like I failed him as well.
The mother says her son is going in for a forensic interview with police, and that is coming up next week. She is hoping to find someone for him to talk to after that.
The state Supreme Court says it will take up the case of a man accused of killing a high school teacher. That tops our speed feed tonight. Ryan Duke is accused of killing Irwin County High School teacher Tara Grinstead more than 14 years ago. He wants the state to pay for investigators and experts to help his attorneys prepare for trial, but an Irwin County judge said no because Duke hired private defense lawyers instead of using court-appointed public defenders. Now it will be up to the Supreme Court. This will be at least the third time the state's highest court has heard arguments in Duke's case, but no hearing date has been set. Tonight, new developments in a murder investigation out of Gwinnett County. Police arrested Miguel Gonzalez and Sebastian Resendez Garcia. They're accused of murdering 28-year-old Marcus Gillett. Investigators say Gillett was sitting in his car on Warnwood Court in Loganville when a group tried to rob him. Late this afternoon, Gwinnett police arrested a third suspect, 15-year-old Abraham Quintanar. He is also facing murder charges. A jury is now trying to sort through a strange case involving a Superior Court judge, a district attorney, and involving a convicted child molester as well. Gwinnett County Superior Judge Catherine Schrader is on trial. She's accused of hiring a private investigator and his team to look through her computer. She wanted to find evidence that someone from the district attorney's office was hacking it. The investigators' team included convicted sex offender Ed Kramer. A jury is working to decide if Schrader is guilty on felony computer crimes. She's facing up to 45 years in prison.
I know that red or pink seem to be popular colors on Valentine's Day, but as far as this map is concerned, we're really happy to see this purple color because that's indicating very dry air in place. And we've had a good chance to dry out in our area today with plenty of sunshine around. And this dry air is going to stick with us as we go through the weekend. This is on Saturday, still dry air over us. Now by Sunday, we'll watch a few more clouds that are going to start moving in. We're really thinking that the moisture is going to be more down to our south where we'll see some better chances for rain. We're not worried about rain here in our area. Once we get into Monday, the rain chance is really low, but by Tuesday of next week, that's when we're going to see those higher rain chances that'll move our way. And at that time, when we have the moisture in our area, the temperatures will start warming up a little bit too. We'll break that down for you coming up in the 7-day outlook.
Pays to be smart. A Georgia student knows that firsthand. So far, she's earned $400,000 in scholarships. Pretty good. She's been accepted at 23 schools. Allison Flowers is in bloom, and she is a senior at Bibb County High School. That's in Macon. From a young age, her grandfather knew that she was destined for greatness, and he is right. She's in a number of clubs, works at Chick-fil-A, still maintains a 3.8 GPA. Allison's college application fees were waived because she has a high SAT score. And her top 3 choices so far, all great schools: Mercer, Georgia Southern, and Kennesaw State. Good luck to her.
The city of College Park made history when it elected Bianca Motley Broom as mayor in December. Not only is she the first African American to be elected to that position, she's the first woman to hold that office as well. We caught up with her to talk about her new place in history.
To be another chapter in Black history in College Park is a responsibility that I take seriously. My election was the first time in 24 years that we've had a new mayor. And I think that gives us an opportunity to evaluate some of the things that we've been doing and make sure that we are truly building the community we deserve.
Mayor Motley Broom is also the granddaughter of famed NFL linebacker Marion Motley. He was among the first Black football players to break the color barrier in the NFL in the 1940s. The mayor says she is proud to join her family's legacy of trailblazers. You can check out more of the interview with her on 11alive.com/myeastpointnews.
Marion Motley, what a famous name, what an impact player on so many levels, such a great name in the history of the National Football League. In the past 24 hours, there have been thousands of new cases of coronavirus reported in China. But what caused the spike? We connect the dots coming up next.
I'm Francesca Amaker with the A-Scene. Aspiring singers, are you looking for your big break? Well, a singing competition is going down this weekend, and they're looking for the best. Yeah, details on where you can try out. It's coming up in the A-Scene.
Future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on The Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy and Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what you're doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A-Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming.
Another sharp rise in coronavirus cases in China. In the last 24 hours, officials say there have been 121 new deaths and more than 5,000 new infections. NBC News reports China is taking extraordinary wartime control measures, including locking 1.5 million people inside their own homes. They're also asking people who've recovered from the virus to give blood plasma for those who are sick. Yesterday, we started to see a huge jump in the number of coronavirus cases being reported in China. There were more than 10,000 new cases in just one day. Let's connect the dots between the greater number of cases and the new way officials are reporting on the virus.
Yesterday, China reported close to 15,000 coronavirus cases, compared to about 1,600 cases the day before. But that doesn't mean that the virus is exploding. It means a province in China is changing the way it is reporting cases. Now it is including all the people with the symptoms of coronavirus. That includes fever, cough, shortness of breath. Before, they were only reporting people who actually tested positive. So why the change? Experts believe China is running out of testing kits. There are also questions about how reliable those tests are. So far, this new criteria is only being used in the Chinese province where most of the world's cases are concentrated. But if this new reporting criteria is used across China, we could see far more alarming numbers.
Coming up at 9, we are going to have a look inside the CDC war room here in Atlanta, where the goal is to stop the virus before it becomes a major problem here in America.
Tonight, we are hearing for the first time from the family of a 95-year-old woman who died in a house fire after a blaze where the captain was suspended for trying to save her life. The Atlanta Fire Department says Captain Daniel Dwyer violated its policy by not waiting for other firefighters before going into the home to look for Sally Scrine. He was able to pull her to the porch, but she died later at the hospital. In a full statement, the family says they would like to thank the fire department for all that was done that day to save their mother and their grandmother. They go on to state that they recognize the sacrifices firefighters make daily to protect the lives and properties of citizens, and they pray for their continued protection as they battle dangerous situations. Dwyer is now appealing his 4-day suspension. The fire department told us it cannot comment on the case because it is not fully resolved.
We enjoyed a dry day out there today with some comfortable temperatures, although it was very chilly out there. And as you can see, we were a little bit below the average today. We started off this morning with cold air in place at 34. Yeah, we were above freezing, but still, these temperatures are about 4 degrees below the average. We should be at 38 this time of year. In the afternoon here for the middle of February, we should be around 56 today. Again, about 4 degrees below the average this afternoon, with high temperatures up to 52 degrees. No rain in our area today. We're loving this chance that we have to dry out just a little bit. And we can handle that. We can afford to dry out some because we have a rain surplus so far for the year of just over 7 inches. Now, here's a look at your weather headlines. We will have a dry weekend, folks. It's going to be nice and sunny on Saturday. A few more clouds are going to build in on your Sunday, but we don't think we'll see any rain with that. It is going to be a cold start. Now, we're going to start off in the morning with temperatures that'll be just below freezing, but then we're going to see gradual warming. In the afternoon, we'll be in the mid-50s on Saturday, and then on Sunday, gradual warming yet again, where it'll be just a little bit warmer on Sunday than what we're going to experience on Saturday. But it's a chilly start here to begin your weekend. 30 degrees for a low in the morning on Saturday. Then we get up to 54 in the afternoon. Just a couple of degrees warmer tomorrow than where we were today. Plenty of sunshine around, looking good. We're going to go with the 9 on the wazometer. So take a look at the forecast track. Tonight, you'll see mainly clear skies. It's going to be a really nice night, but you'll have to bundle up as you're out and about with your honey for Valentine's Day. Here's that freezing line, the blue line, coming down toward the south, and by tomorrow morning, a lot of areas will be below freezing, especially north of that line, but then we'll start warming up during the day with the sunshine. The wind shifting a little bit from the north and east. Feeling really nice in the afternoon on Saturday with temperatures there in the mid-50s. And then on Sunday, the only real change we're going to see is a few more clouds are going to start building in. These clouds are not going to be rain producers, though. We'll just see a sunshine mixing in with some of those clouds at times during the day. And then by Monday, we'll have a better coverage of clouds around. You can see that here early on Monday morning. And then in the afternoon, about a 20% chance for a shower. Those rain chances higher on the south side. The better coverage of rain is going to be over us on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, on Wednesday, actually, we'll have a few scattered showers. That'll be with us as well. And then we're watching very closely on Thursday. Cooler air comes in. Some of the models are trying to show a little bit of lingering moisture on Thursday, so we'll just have to watch that closely as we get into next week. 54 for a high Saturday, 58 Sunday. We will see a few more clouds around, though, on Sunday. Monday, a lower rain chance at 20%, but it's going to be warmer up to 64, 66 Tuesday, but that's the day with the better coverage of rain that we'll see around. Some scattered showers as well on Wednesday, with temperatures starting to cool down. Thursday's the day we'll have to watch very closely. As we get closer to us, we'll be able to refine those temperatures and the rain chances a little bit more. And then 53 and dry for the end of the week.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Friday's edition of the A Scene, and we are kicking off with a huge casting call for the hit original series, Doom Patrol. Yep, you got it. In fact, casting producers need actors for scenes that kind of sound like the circus, like literally. The Southern Casting Call reports producers are looking for actors to portray clowns in an upcoming scene. Now, this is a family-friendly event, so no scary personas or anything like that, just colorful. The directors will be picking these roles, so please submit your best clown costumes with your best clown work. Filming takes place February 27th and the 28th in Conyers. All submission details are on our website. And returning to BET Network for Season 10 is America's most inspirational singing competition, Sunday Best. Music legend Kirk Franklin is returning as host. Also returning as judges are gospel songstress Erica Campbell and Grammy Award nominated artists Miss Kelly Price and Jonathan McReynolds. And guess what? There's an open call audition tomorrow. Be there. It's happening at the House of Hope off Flat Shoals Parkway from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, it's going down tomorrow. Tell all your friends that sing. Atlanta auditions will be filmed for television, and you have to be 18 years or older, and you must be prepared to sing a specific list of songs, okay? And we have all the details on 11alive.com/theascene.
It was a brave conquers fear story that started with an unexpected Valentine. In the years since, one life was saved and another was changed. Dante and Lauren are as close as ever, and they say they are just getting started in trying to make a difference.
I was wondering if you, Dante, would be my kidney recipient. Yay! We're actually a perfect match. You're getting a kidney! Oh my goodness!
I love watching the video over and over, like your expression, like when you found out and like how all that.
I really didn't believe it.
You know, when you can like literally like join hands with like a stranger and like literally like become family with them, you know what I mean? Like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you want to do that?
It is an inspiring story, and coming up at 9, Cheryl Preheim sits down with both of them to talk about the last year and their plans to help other people waiting for life-saving organ transplants.
A new billboard sparks calls for a boycott, but is it a bust? That's up for you to decide. We're going to explain coming up next.
Just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what you're doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Okay,
right.
About that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your
A businessman in Cobb County saw a good opportunity to get more customers.
But now he has a problem, if you will, as he tries to figure out if business should come before his neighbors. So many people are weighing in on our 11Alive Facebook page, so let's get the story now from Natisha Lance.
The backlash came without warning.
I was shocked. I was pretty embarrassed.
Hassan Michel never imagined advertising for his fitness studio would make some of his neighbors call for a boycott of the business.
It really bothered me that the community was boycotting me versus boycotting the billboard company.
Hassan promoted his 3-year-old studio on an LED billboard, one some members of the community say they never wanted, complaining about the size and wondering why they aren't closer to the interstate. On Nextdoor, one neighbor called it stupid after it went up on the corner of South Cobb Drive and East-West Connector last month, and another suggested time to start calling the businesses on the billboard.
Some of the comments were pretty terrible, and I don't think that anybody should be able to bully a business or a person.
Seeing those comments made Kristen Kreisel want to support Cycle Elon. She's already 2 classes in.
It's clearly good.
The billboards went up after the owner, Vision Outdoor, filed a lawsuit against the county for rejecting 22 of them. The county and the company reached a settlement in April, allowing for 8. The county says residents were notified with commissioners' newsletters and on social media.
Well, he says he hasn't lost any customers over this. In fact, he says he gained a few clients.
So many of you wanted to talk about this story. Sherry hates the billboard. She says her community had a similar sign. She thinks it's an eyesore and she will never do business with anybody who advertises on it. Letitia says if you don't like it, go talk to the city, not the business. The city's the one that approved it.
Gloria just wants to be supportive and tells Michael to stay the course. She hopes this will bring him more business and supporters. We want you to join in on the conversation. Let us know what you think. You can do that on our 11Alive Facebook page. We'll be right back.
A great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun. And they're convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
bringing us together to act?
Together our voices grow. Together we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You were, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and colleges.
It is Valentine's Day, and love is in the air around Metro Atlanta today.
And Valentine's Day and night can be a time to reconnect with your significant other, but how do you keep the music playing? That's as the old song goes.
11Alive is where Atlanta speaks, and our photojournalist Stephen Boise stopped by the Varsity to get your advice on love.
What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? I love advice. Share love each and every day, not just on Valentine's Day. And I would like to say Happy Valentine's Day to my husband, Rodney Hart.
Be patient. That is my best marriage advice. Be patient because you want your partner to be patient with you. Through the storm and the sunshine and the hail and the flooding, you want your partner to be patient with you, so you exercise patience with your partner.
I guess be true to yourself and see the person as they really are and love them for what you see as the best in them. And you just have to overlook some things and love the good and the bad and the ugly, I think, sometimes.
My husband, Terry, we've been married for 41 years, and it's not always been easy, but my best advice is just to hang in there, and it's worth it.
Love advice is, for a man, keep your mouth shut, do what you're told. For a woman, tell the man what to do, and he'll do it. Is that simple enough? Keep you married for a long time, I guarantee it. I've been married 48 years. 48 years to the same woman. I keep my mouth shut, except when I'm eating. Varsity.
Yeah, and the dude is taking her to the Varsity on Valentine's Day. Man, I could never get away with that.
That's the warm-up.
Yeah.
I could never get away with that.
It was good. Yep. I think he really nailed it.
Yeah, he really did. After being married for 41 years, he's right. I've learned just to keep my mouth shut and just not say, okay.
Are you 41 as well? How
Yeah,
many years?
41.
Wow,
Married for 41 years.
same as that guy.
Got
All
married
right.
when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Exactly.
So-
Of course. Happy Valentine's Day to Mrs. Jones.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
All right, guys, good to see you tonight, 8 o'clock crew. Still ahead tonight at 9.
That's right. We have a lot coming up here on Primetime News, folks.
Deputies pulled him over, going 126 miles per hour on Georgia 400. All new tonight, police dash cam and body cam video shows that it only got worse for deputies.
And a backlog of untested rape kits continues to grow by the month. Tonight, reaction from Governor Brian Kemp about whether proposed budget cuts could make the situation worse.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Tonight with breaking news in Douglasville, where a person was found shot and killed near 2 schools.
Yeah, 11Alive John Sherrick has been on the scene for a couple of hours. John, what have you learned so far?
Ron and Aisha, we are continuing to watch this crime scene. Douglasville police are continuing to work the crime scene throughout the night. We are on Oak Street and Connolly Drive, just off of I-20 and Highway 92. A woman who lives here tells me she'd just gotten home from making a hamburger run, was inside her house, and suddenly her dog started barking wildly, very upset. She looked out her window, and that's when she saw a man collapsed in the middle of Oak Street. She started screaming, "Somebody call 911, somebody call 911. Well, a neighbor had just called police, and first responders got here quickly, but they were not able to save the man who they found in the middle of the street, shot. Now, police have been going up and down Oak Street, looking for evidence, putting down evidence markers, possibly next to where they found shells. There's been a lot of broken glass here where they found the body. Police are not saying yet if they've contacted any witnesses, if they developed any suspects, still trying to figure out who this young man was, possibly in his 20s, they say, who his family was, where he lived. They continue to work this case very hard because people here are just too frightened to come outside, understandably. So we'll continue to work for more information as we get it. We'll bring it to you. Ron and Aisha, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. New tonight on Primetime, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office released dash cam and body cam video of a man driving 126 miles per hour.
Now, this was down Georgia 400 Tuesday night, but what they found in his car led to even more charges.
We're going to catch up to a silver Dodge Challenger, excess of 126 miles an hour.
126 miles an hour.
My wife is...
Don't go reaching. Don't reach.
No, I'm sorry.
Here,
My driver's license is
here, here, step out of the car for me.
Look.
You don't have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
Oh, come on over here.
No, I'm sorry. No,
Come on over here. Come in front of my car. I just didn't like you reaching, man. Come on.
No, I don't want... I don't have nothing. I don't want... Hey, I just try to get to my wife.
Can I pat you down real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please don't lock me up for that. I had my wife...
Did I say I was locking you up for that? Here's relax, okay? Relax. You relaxed, I'm relaxed, okay? I'll just place your hands behind your back.
You finna lock me up?
Yes, sir.
Please, I'm not even... No, I just won't. Please let me talk to my wife.
We'll let you call.
No, wife.
That's 27-year-old Derechino Cox being arrested for reckless driving and marijuana possession. But he got away from the arresting deputies, leading them on a foot chase.
He's running. Get on the ground.
What I need you to do is I need you to take some deep breaths and relax for us. Listen to me. I just want you to relax for me. You're not going to get hurt.
All right, so Cox is now facing a slew of additional charges tonight. He's being held without bail in the Forsyth County Jail.
At this time, I want to assure you, our community, and all of our parents out there that we have no reason to believe that there is an active threat in the Churchill Heights community or the city of Casey as a whole.
Tonight, police in South Carolina trying to ease the fears of residents after the body of 6-year-old Faye Swetlick was found. Faye went missing Monday, and the search for it actually captured the nation's attention.
11Alive.com has been flooded with viewers wanting an update on the investigation. As we said last night, a man's body was also found in the same neighborhood. Tonight, we now know that man was a neighbor, and they're now connecting him to her death.
Jacob Reynolds from our sister station out of Columbia, South Carolina, has more on today's major developments.
The Casey, South Carolina Department of Public Safety releasing major updates in the investigation into the now homicide of 6-year-old Faye Swetlick. Swetlick was found on Thursday sometime in the woods you see behind me between these houses here, her house, and the Napa Auto Parts on the main street here in Casey. Now, according to law enforcement, they also found a deceased male. That male has now been identified as Cody Taylor, a 30-year-old who lived in this neighborhood about 100 to 200 feet from the Swetlick's home. Law enforcement says Taylor was not a friend or relative of the Swetlicks and appears at this time to have just been a neighbor. They also said they could confirm the two cases and discovery of the bodies were connected. They're not telling us how those are linked as they continue to investigate, but they could tell us the two cases and those investigations are merging as they know these bodies were linked in some way. It was actually a piece of evidence from a trash can belonging to Mr. Taylor's residence that they were searching before it was taken away to the landfill, that they found some piece of evidence which they're not identifying, which had them zone in on this area. And it was actually the director of the Public Safety Department here in Casey, Byron Snellgrove, who found Faye yesterday, Thursday, when he was preparing for that much more specific and narrowed down search that he found that body. And earlier at a press conference, they detailed some of the contact they had had with Mr. Taylor earlier this week. Had you searched Mr. Taylor's home before law enforcement found him?
We had talked to Mr. Taylor. We had been inside his home. Absolutely, we had. He has no criminal history, and he was not known to law enforcement.
And Sergeant Evan Antley, who you just heard from, wanted to assure this neighborhood that there was no active threat. They also have no persons of interest, no suspects, and no arrests to announce at this time as they continue to investigate what exactly happened in this neighborhood in Casey. And autopsies on Faye Swetlick and Cody Taylor will be conducted on Saturday.
This has been one of the top stories on 11Alive.com all week. Don't forget to download the 11Alive News app for updates on this investigation.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. I'm on with you live right now on the ATL as well as on Facebook Live. That's why my phone is propped up right here. We have about 322 people on Valentine's night on a Friday who are interested in talking about weather. And we're talking about how chilly it is outside and what to expect for the weekend, and even looking ahead into next week as we see the rain chances going up. So if you would like to join us in that conversation, go to my Facebook page, Chris Holcomb 11Alive, and we'll keep talking here. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the temperatures around North Georgia. Right now, it is 41 degrees here in town. We have 39 just to the north of us in Marietta and Duluth. Over in Carrollton, it's 37. We have temperatures now below freezing in Blairsville at 30, 32 right now in Clayton. More 40s right over here to the east of I-85. It's just a little milder there. We got a little bit of a breeze. It's not particularly blustery out there, but a wind northwest at about 13 miles an hour, and that makes it feel even colder. 34 here in Atlanta, 32 is the wind chill in Marietta, and it feels like it's 29 in Dalton. These temperatures will continue to fall during the overnight hours. Just a little bit of a breeze out there. As you can see, not really that blustery. 10-mile-an-hour winds in Marietta, 13-mile-an-hour winds here in the Atlanta area. So it's going to be really cold during the overnight hours. We're going to wake up in the morning to temperatures that will be below freezing, and then we'll gradually warm up a little bit more as we go through the rest of the weekend. We'll talk about that slow warming pattern, and when the rain comes back, we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Chrissy, in a couple of minutes, sir, there is a nursing shortage here in the state of Georgia. Kennesaw State University and Wellstar Health System are now teaming up to address the problem. That's going to kick off our speed feed tonight. According to KSU, it's estimated by 2030, Georgia will have the country's 6th worst nursing shortage. So Wellstar is now stepping up to donate more than $8 million over the next few years. The money is going to help create an annual scholarship fund and support the hiring of more than 50 additional faculty and staff members. KSU hopes to increase the number of nursing students by 20% each and every year. Delta Airlines says it's committing $1 billion, that's with a B, to become the first global carbon neutral airline. Over the next 10 years, the Atlanta-based air carrier will invest in reducing emissions and waste and advancing clean air technology. Delta's CEO says it's another step towards making sustainability part of Delta's culture and brand.
By choosing Delta, you're doing something right for the environment and making a difference for our future.
Macy's is now expanding its footprint in Atlanta with a new technology office in Midtown. The retailer will also keep its current facility in Johns Creek. The $14 million tech hub will add 630 jobs. It will be primarily software developers and architects. It will also be one of the first tenants in an $80 million T3 West Midtown building.
A Mexican national was the 6th person to die in ICE custody here in Georgia. And while it happened 6 months ago today, several advocacy groups gathered in Metro Atlanta to honor his memory. Our Elwin Lopez joins us now.
Aisha, Kevin Karen with Georgia Detention Watch says Valentine's Day is a day to celebrate with your loved ones. And while he says the Mexican consulate has yet to find any of Pedro Arriago Santoya's family members, it was important for him and others to honor him today.
I mean, we were mourning these men who we've lost.
Dozens showed up to honor Pedro Arriago Santoya, a Mexican national who died in ICE custody last July after ICE says he went into cardiac arrest and could not be revived. He was the 6th detainee to die in ICE custody here in Georgia. And while it's been 6 months, Kevin Karen with Georgia Detention Watch says it took a while to figure out where he was buried.
This process took some time, and then, of course, there's logistics and things, and that's why we decided to do it today. And we did choose Valentine's Day because it is a day when we celebrate our loved ones.
Advocacy groups and community members first gathered at the ICE field office in downtown Atlanta and then drove to Forest Park to Arriago Santoya's unmarked grave. And Karen also told me today that the family members of another detainee who died in ICE custody actually sent a letter to the groups ahead of this event today to show their support and condolences. Ron?
All right, thanks a lot, Ellen. Next, we're getting a look inside the CDC war room right here in Atlanta, where the goal is to stop the coronavirus before it becomes a major problem in America.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb live on Facebook right now taking your weather questions. You can join the conversation right now on his Facebook page. We'll catch up with him after the break.
And don't forget, we're streaming right now on 11Alive's YouTube channel. Subscribe and join the conversation in the community section. We've got more 11Alive news. Prime time after the break.
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick
quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little Five Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always.
Probably read the headlines about the surge in the coronavirus in China. It's because it's the hardest hit province. It has changed the way they are counting them now as the virus continues to spread. Government and health organizations are working to stop its advance. That includes the Centers for Disease Control right here in Atlanta. 11Alive's Jennifer Bellamy has a look inside the agency's coronavirus war room.
Inside Atlanta's Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, you'll find the agency's Emergency Operations Center, or EOC. It's the nerve center for monitoring the newest coronavirus, COVID-19. It's meant to address the sickness overseas and here in the United States, where there are at least 15 confirmed cases. The CDC anticipates more will likely be confirmed in the coming days and weeks, including among people who have returned from Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the illness. Meanwhile, China has implemented what it calls wartime measures to try and get a handle on the virus. 1,400 military medical professionals have been sent to Wuhan, and millions have been confined to their homes, some undergoing door-to-door temperature checks with food delivered and hung on doors. Now, as nearly 60,000 have fallen ill, experts say the new coronavirus has a 2% fatality rate, with the elderly, males, and patients with pre-existing conditions, especially respiratory illnesses, the most at risk.
So while concerns remain about the coronavirus, it's important to remember we're experiencing a second wave of flu right here in the United States. Health officials say it's one of the nastiest seasons for children in a decade, with 92 flu-related deaths reported in children so far. For the very latest on the coronavirus, just text the word virus to 404-873-9114. We're going to send you a link to our special coverage on 11alive.com.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. We still have a lot of folks on Facebook Live right now. We're down to just under 200 people, but everybody's talking about how cold it is. Some are saying they want it to warm up. Others are saying they want it to stay cold. A lot of people are saying they want snow. So we've got a lot of opinions out there on Facebook, and a lot of folks like Kimberly saying Happy Valentine's Day. So yeah, you would never guess that. I did know that it's Valentine's Day today, but I just totally forgot to wear red, so y'all forgive me for that. Let's talk about these cold temperatures. 41 degrees right now in Atlanta. We have 39 in Marietta and also into Duluth. Over in Athens, it's a little milder, and really over to the east and south of Atlanta, it's a little bit milder with those temperatures that are in the 40s, but it's colder to the north and to the west. And you can see there 37 right now in the Carrollton area, and we also have 36 in Dalton, and then below freezing at Blairsville at 30 degrees. Now, we mentioned earlier, not particularly blustery everywhere tonight, but there are just a few breezes in Atlanta. It's northwest at 13 miles an hour, and it feels like it's 34 degrees. Y'all see this QR code here at the bottom of your screen? We would love for you to open up your smartphone camera, all right, that app, the camera app. Point it at that QR code, and it'll help you download our 11Alive app so you can keep up with these temperatures and track the next rain that's moving our way. It's 32 in Marietta, 33 in Rome, 29 right now up in the Dalton area. And we do have that bit of a breeze. Again, those are the wind chills. Wind, not too bad. 10-mile-an-hour winds in Marietta, 13-mile-an-hour winds here in Atlanta. And watch the temperatures as we go through the overnight hours here. It's going to get even colder. We'll be in the 30s by 11 o'clock. Just above freezing at 1 a.m. and then we'll be below freezing, we think, from like 2 in the morning till around 7 in the morning, with those temperatures bottoming out at about 30 degrees, and then we're back above freezing, we think most likely 8 o'clock, and then 35 degrees at 9 with plenty of sunshine. So on your Saturday, We're going to go with a 9 on the Wizometer. Chilly low of 30 degrees, a high of 54, mostly sunny skies. So here's the forecast track. Now, that blue line that you see right there, moving down to the south, that's the freezing line. Everywhere north of that line looks like it's going to be below freezing in the morning. And then we see the temperatures with mostly sunny skies going back up to around 54 degrees tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be just a couple of degrees warmer than we were today. And then as we go into Sunday, a few more clouds will start to build in. This isn't going to be an overcast, total overcast all day long. We're just talking about a few clouds that'll be mixing in with that sunshine during the day. Mostly cloudy early Sunday, and even at lunchtime, a good coverage of clouds around, but that sun will be breaking through also at times. And then continuing on into Sunday afternoon, more sunshine. And then going into Monday, that's when we start to see some changes. Clouds are going to be a little thicker. This is early in the morning on Monday. Once we get into the afternoon, we're going with about a 20% chance for a shower. Most of that rain is going to be on the south side, we think, on Monday. Then Tuesday, that's the day with our highest rain chance, and more people will be impacted by some of that rain as it comes in here on Tuesday. On Wednesday, this model's showing a break in the action. I do think we'll have a few scattered showers on Wednesday. And then going into Thursday, that's the day that we have to watch really closely. The models are flip-flopping a little bit, and they don't totally agree about this moisture moving away, and we also will have some cold air moving in. So Thursday is the day we're going to have to watch with maybe some changes there with the temperatures as well as the chances for any precip moving in. So enjoy your weekend, folks. It's finally going to be a dry one out there this entire weekend. We'll see mostly sunny skies Saturday, highs near 54. Sunday, a few more clouds and 58, and then the rain chance is on the low end Monday at 20%. And it's warmer, too, with temperatures up to 64. 66 Tuesday, that's the day with the best rain chances. Starting to cool back down Wednesday with the high of 58, 40% chance for rain. And then again, we'll be fine-tuning Thursday's forecast, a little bit of rain possible with colder air coming in. And then Friday, drying out for the end of the week with high temperatures to around 53 degrees.
Saturdays are dance days for the Uruhu dancers. So as we head into the weekend, we take you to the oldest professional African dance company in Metro Atlanta. They've educated the community about African culture and history for 3 decades.
Uhuru means freedom, so we are the freedom dancers. We have been in the community teaching West African dance. We have a Saturday class. We're celebrating our 30th year anniversary.
I love doing African dance. It's a great exercise. It's a release, the drums, everything. It just fills my spirit.
As we dance and as we learn tradition, we learn folklore, we learn rhythms, we learn drumming, we learn dance, and it's all a part of who we are. But it's also a part of who we are collectively, not just as African Americans, but as Americans. Sort of infectious.
How does that feel? Joyful. I mean, I feel it right in here, and it just makes me come alive.
It's about you. It's about reaching within yourself and bringing out that is within you and expressing it through your dance and through your movement.
The nonprofit group started in 1989. It's the longest running African dance class in Georgia. They meet at the Clarkston Community Center.
All right, straight ahead, he sat in jail for 26 years for a crime the court later ruled he did not commit. And his story is not very unique here, folks. That's why Fulton County has now created the state's first unit to take a second look.
Not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes,
right?
okay.
Yeah, a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Block, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe. We vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long.
More than 1,600 people are sitting in Georgia's prisons for crimes they did not commit, or at least that's what studies by groups like the Innocence Project believe. Reveal investigator Rebecca Lindstrom takes us inside a special unit with the power to do something about it.
It takes a lot of courage and a lot of integrity for an elected official to look at his own decisions to make sure that justice was done.
Are you ready to look at him and say, I think you made a mistake?
I am. That's my job. That's why he hired me.
In her first 5 months on the job, Maxwell has received 62 petitions.
Those boxes represent 3 cases that I'm working on.
31 of those from defendants who say they are innocent.
How do you even look at these cases and sort fact from fiction?
Well, you know, it is a difficult process. We can't just look at what someone says, nor can we just look at our file. We're going to have to basically reinvestigate these cases.
These are serious offenses. 23 involve murder, 12 armed robberies, 4 rapes, there is kidnapping and child molestation. Defense attorneys submitted most of the petitions, but 18 came directly from the accused.
Rebecca, every so often we hear about someone who is released after being wrongfully convicted. Has it ever happened, though, in Fulton County?
I was able to find 4 cases that had happened since 1997. That's the year that Paul Howard was first elected DA, and one of those was cleared through DNA evidence.
DNA, such a game changer. It's really opened the door in a lot of cases.
I'm going to be talking with a gentleman tonight on Up Late who was cleared by DNA evidence after sitting in prison for 26 years.
All right, we'll see more of your investigation tonight at 11 on Up Late. Rebecca, thanks.
Her love for school is paying off in a big way. How one Georgia student received more than $400,000 in scholarships.
Cliffhangers. You know, they didn't wait the next week. You're, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on The Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive.
Well, as you know, crimes against children are some of the hardest to hear about. And tonight, police are investigating a sexual assault in a first-grade classroom.
A DeKalb County mother says the school failed to protect her son when another 6-year-old targeted him. She sat down exclusively with Caitlin Ross. We are protecting the mom's identity because her child was the alleged victim of a sex crime.
He writes me love notes every day. If I'm still asleep when he wakes up, he's the one kissing my forehead.
Her 6-year-old used to write, "Mommy, I love you." Now he tells her he's scared.
Now he's writing himself notes to beat somebody up when they touch him. So something that he used to do for me is now getting turned into something else because he's afraid of going to school.
Afraid because she says he has been molested 3 times in the past 3 weeks. The first time on a school bus.
He had pulled up his shirt, pulled down his pants, and tickled his pee-pee on the bus. Of course, me being furious, all types of thoughts started running through my mind. I started trying to ask him more questions to see if anything else had happened.
She says the administration at Rock Chapel Elementary School made excuses.
He was horsing around. He's a wild kid, and he was just doing what he normally does, and it was an accident.
But a week later, she says it happened again. Her son arrived at school bleeding with a fat lip. He told his mom the other boy hit his head and molested him again.
I let them do the investigation. She contacted me back and told me that the bus driver that day was a substitute bus driver, and that she assured me that my baby was safe now after that.
She says the school told her the 2 boys would be kept apart, but it happened again, this time in a classroom.
My son was afraid, of course, not knowing what's going to happen because he's already been molested 3 times with this child, and nobody is helping him out.
She says she was told a teacher witnessed what happened and pulled the other little boy off, but no one called police. She says she was told the other little boy was then put in a different classroom.
She just kept telling me how, everybody's up to speed now, and basically now, this time, they're going to do it right this time. After the 3rd time, my son has been molested in their care.
According to the DeKalb County Student Handbook, sexual misconduct at the elementary level should have triggered an automatic 6 to 10 day suspension. We asked the school district whether the other child was disciplined. In a statement, they told us the safety of every student is always a top priority for the DeKalb County School District, and school police are aware of the allegations. But this is an open and ongoing investigation, so they are not able to provide a statement at this time. The mom says the situation has left her feeling helpless.
For me to promise him that he's going to be safe and then it happened to him again, it just makes me feel like I failed him as well.
Well, the mother says her son is now going in for a forensic interview with police next week. She's hoping to find someone for him to talk to after all of that.
The state Supreme Court says it will take up the case of a man accused of killing a high school teacher. This tops our speed feed tonight. Ryan Duke is accused of killing Irwin County High School teacher Tara Grinstead more than 14 years ago. He wants the state to pay for investigators and experts to help his lawyers prepare for trial. But an Irwin County judge said no because Duke hired private defense lawyers instead of court-appointed public defenders. Now, it will be up to the Supreme Court. This will be at least the third time the state's highest court has heard arguments in Duke's case, but no hearing date has been set. Tonight, new developments in a murder investigation out of Gwinnett County. Police arrested Miguel Gonzalez and Sebastian Resendez Garcia. They are accused of murdering 28-year-old Marcus Gilead. Investigators said Gilead was sitting in his car on Renwood Court in Loganville when a group attempted to rob him. Late this afternoon, Gwinnett police arrested a third suspect, 15-year-old Abraham Quintanar. He is also facing murder charges. A jury is now trying to sort through a strange case involving a Superior Court judge, a district attorney, and a convicted child molester. Gwinnett County Superior Court Judge Catherine Schrader is on trial. She's accused of hiring a private investigator and his team to look through her computer. She wanted to find evidence that someone from the district attorney's office was hacking it. The private eye's team included convicted sex offender Ed Kramer. A jury is trying to decide if Schrader is guilty of felony computer crimes. She is facing up to 45 years in prison.
Well, we had some ups and downs with those temperatures today. For the most part, they were down as we started off this morning with temperatures that dipped down to 34. I know this is showing 35 here, but in between these hourlies, we did dip to 34. And then we started moving back up into the 40s for the morning hours at 10 o'clock, then into the 50s after lunch right around 1. And then we held in those 50s for much of the afternoon until about 5 o'clock. And now we're falling again. We're in the 40s now, and we'll continue to move on down. In fact, we're in the lower 40s at this hour. We're going to be in the 30s next hour, and we're thinking after midnight, we're going to fall to the freezing mark and then be even below freezing here by tomorrow morning. The colder temperatures are really north and west of the city, roughly along the I-85 corridor to the north and west of that. That's where we're seeing more of the 30s around. Carrollton, you're 36, Canton's 36, Blairsville is 29 right now. Duluth, you're at 40, Atlanta's at 40, we've got 46 in Athens and 46 over in the Eatonton area. With clear skies tonight and this cold air that's coming in from the north, it's going to get a lot colder while you're sleeping tonight. We'll be just above freezing, we think, at 1 in the morning, and then after that, we'll fall to freezing and then be below freezing, maybe from 3 to about 7 in the morning with clear skies. But then with the sunshine returning early in the morning after it comes up, we'll begin to see that warming process. Will be up to 35 at 9 with mainly clear skies. And then by afternoon tomorrow, a little warmer than we were today, and that warming trend continues a little bit more into Sunday. But we'll see more clouds moving in, and then our rain chances increase for next week. We're going to break down all of that timeline for you coming up in just a few minutes.
The governor said today the GBI will do more with less money, even as the agency grapples with another rape kit backlog. The state crime lab cleared a similar backlog less than 2 years ago, which led to the discovery of several repeat offenders. Faster work could have arguably prevented crimes. As of now, GBI Director Vic Reynolds tells us there are more than 700 untested rape kits, and the overall backlog of evidence waiting to be tested tops 44,000. 11Alive's Doug Richards reports on what the governor says will change.
We saw Governor Kemp here in Marietta, where he said that the problem at the GBI Crime Lab isn't lack of state funding as much as it is a lack of budget efficiency. The crime lab processes DNA testing to link crime scene evidence to suspects. That includes rape kits. This week, the GBI director told a legislative committee that the crime lab had a new backlog of 768 untested rape kits, as the crime lab and other state agencies face budget cuts. Governor Kemp told us the crime lab needs to outsource some of its DNA testing to bring down costs.
Part of what they're doing is they're going to privatize, where it makes sense, some of the investigations and the work that they have that will be more efficient, that will, for the same money, you can do more.
Governor Kemp is echoing what GBI Director Vic Reynolds told lawmakers this week. Yet some lawmakers predicted the legislature would restore the GBI's proposed budget cuts by the time the legislature actually passes a budget, which will probably be around the start of spring.
I tell you what, it pays to be smart. A Georgia student knows this firsthand. So far, she has earned more than, get this, $400,000 in scholarships and has been accepted to 23 schools. We're talking about Allison Flowers. She's a senior at Bibb County High School. From a young age, her grandfather knew that she was destined for greatness, and he was right. She's in numerous clubs, works at Chick-fil-A, and still maintains a 3.8 GPA. Allison's college application fees were waived because of her SAT score. Her top 3 choices right now: Mercer, Georgia Southern, and Kennesaw State.
The city of College Park made history when it elected Bianca Motley Broom a mayor in December. Not only is she the first African-American to be elected to that position, she's the first woman to hold that office as well. We caught up with her on her new place in history.
To be another chapter in Black history in College Park is a responsibility that I take seriously. My election was the first time in 24 years that we've had a new mayor. And I think that gives us an opportunity to evaluate some of the things that we've been doing and make sure that we are truly building the community we deserve.
Mayor Motley Broom also happens to be the granddaughter of famed NFL linebacker Marion Motley. He was among the first Black football players to break the color barrier in the NFL in the 1940s. The mayor says she is proud to join her family's legacy of trailblazers. You can listen to more of our interview with her on 11alive.com/myeastpointnews.
All right, straight ahead, he's only 5 years old, but he's already a hero. You're going to meet the little guy who saved his family when their home caught fire, as he's honored by the people who do it every single day.
Today is a big milestone for Dante and Lauren. As soon as I mentioned them on Facebook, the comments came pouring in. We have a Brave Conquers Fear update for you coming up.
Keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chesley.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
about that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Block, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these two hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points.
You know, there's a story about that brave 5-year-old that amazed so many of you on our 11Alive Facebook page. He helped rescue 7 people, including his 2-year-old sister, from a house fire. 11Alive's Latasha Givens shares how he was honored today.
5-year-old Noah Woods became an honorary firefighter today in Bartow County. It was for his bravery earlier this week when he saved his family from a fire. Officials say flames quickly spread through the family's Kingston home when an overloaded socket sparked a fire. With no working smoke detectors, Chief Dwayne Jamison says Noah was the first to wake up. The 5-year-old jumped into action, grabbing his 2-year-old sister Lily and their dog. Touching and stepping on hot furniture, Noah climbed through his window and led them out to safety. Noah's dad, Alan Wood, says when he and his wife woke up, they ran to the kids' room.
Gusts of smoke hit me and her instantly, singed our facial hairs and hair.
So they ran outside to the kids' room window, when out of nowhere.
And then my son walks up holding his sister and the dog in his arms.
Noah had also alerted other relatives living on the property, saving a total of 7 family members and their dog.
He's always been an outgoing person, and I'm just proud to be able to say I'm his father.
That's quite amazing because a lot of adults wouldn't have acted that calmly and that quickly to be able to know to do that.
So on Friday, the Bartow County Fire Department held a special ceremony for Noah. They didn't have a uniform to fit him, but they did find firefighter PJs, and the 5-year-old was given an official department badge and a life-saving Valor Award for his act of bravery. And from now on, Valentine's Day in Bartow County is also known as Noah Woods Day.
Yep, he protected us all.
Oh, you know, this is what's really cool. We're also told that the governor's office is also sending little Noah something in the mail ahead of his visit to the state capitol.
What do you have? Bad weather, good weather. We get it up.
It's just unbelievable the weather we've had. It goes from summer to winter. Today's like 30-something degrees, and yesterday's like 70, 80s.
It's too much rain. Goodbye, good riddance. I'm ready for summer.
Here in Atlanta, Georgia, you don't know what you're going to expect. Winter, spring, summer, and fall all in one day.
It's been warm, it's been cold, and it's been snowy. And
I thought I saw some hail. Look like little pebbles,
And tornadoes.
Flooding underneath the house, Lord of mercy. Windy weather, cold weather, extremely warm weather. We had to turn on the air conditioning. We had to turn the heat back on.
And now it's raining, and I just accept it and I adjust and according to what's going on.
It's been crazy. If you know Georgia, you already know you get anything.
It's been crazy.
Now we have sunshine in Atlanta.
I'm telling you, it's been crazy. I've lived in Georgia nearly all my life. Never seen anything like it.
What do you have? What do you have? It's Atlanta weather.
I heard a lot of crazies in that a lot of people were saying crazy weather, crazy weather, crazy weather. You know, this time last Friday night, we were talking about the potential for snow for Saturday, and then last Saturday we did get the snow. Tonight, we're talking about just the cold air that we're going to have in place and no moisture mixing in with that cold air. We're at 41 degrees here in town, 40 in Duluth, 39 in Marietta. Remember, we've got this QR code at the bottom of your screen. Just open up your camera there on your smartphone, point it at that QR code. You can download our 11Alive app. It's 40 in Duluth, 46 in Athens. Covington a little cooler at 37. We do have a little bit of a breeze right now. Winds out of the northwest at 13 miles an hour. So that makes it feel just a little bit cooler. It feels like it's 30. Y'all can drop that QR code if you want to. 34 degrees right now in Atlanta, 32 in Marietta, and 28 in Dalton, 29 in Blairsville, 29 in Clayton as well. That is the wind chill. That's how it feels to you. So for the next 12 hours, we're going to see those temperatures that are going to be falling. and it's going to be really chilly in the morning. We think we'll be below freezing, and in fact, we'll be below freezing for a few hours overnight. I do think we'll dip to below freezing probably about 2 in the morning until about 7 in the morning, with those temperatures that bottom out at about 30 degrees, and then we're at 35 at about 9 o'clock. We'll be back above freezing, I think, at 8, and then 35 at 9 with that sunshine that's going to be coming through our area. So on our weather headlines, it is going to be a dry weekend. I think a lot of people are ready to dry out and finally just enjoy a little bit of sunshine. And we had that sun out there today. We'll have more of it tomorrow. It is going to be a cold start to the weekend tomorrow with temperatures that'll be below freezing, but then gradually warming a little bit during the afternoon into the mid-50s, and then Sunday's highs will be in the upper 50s. So feeling pretty nice there with that warming trend through the weekend. Next week, we'll be back into the 60s. However, when those 60s move back in, we'll have a little bit of moisture coming our way too, and the rain chances will go up. So soak up the dry weather while we can. 30 degrees for a low, 54 for a high, mostly sunny skies on our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. We're going to go with a 9. So here's the forecast track. See this blue line? That's indicating the freezing line. Everywhere north of that line is where we'll see temperatures that are going to be at or below freezing. And then we'll warm up during the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine here. By afternoon, we'll be up into the mid-50s, we think, compared to the lower 50s that we had today. And then by Sunday, a few more clouds start to mix in. Not really a total overcast all day, but just a few clouds mixing in with some of that sunshine. Still not worried about a big-time rain chance. Maybe a couple of showers on the south side Sunday. It's going to be on Monday when we have a lower rain chance at 20%. And then Tuesday is the day with the best chance for rain moving our way at 60%. And also, after we get through the weekend with temperatures in the 50s, we're going to start the week with some 60s here for Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday back to 58 with still a few showers around. Still watching Thursday very closely. The models are flip-flopping on what to expect on Thursday. Right now, I'm going with a 30% chance for rain with cooler air in place. We'll be fine-tuning this forecast into next week with the rain chances and those temperatures as well. And then we dry out Friday with high temperatures. That'll be right around 53 degrees.
Valentine's Day will always have new meaning for a young gymnastics coach in Carrollton. It's the day 1 year ago Dante Sipp found out that a stranger was willing to help save his life. It brought hope and joy to a day that he used to dread.
Valentine's Day is like, to everybody else, it's like flowers and candy and all that other stuff. To me, I got a sister and my life back, you know, so it's a time to celebrate Valentine's Day again. Yeah.
I love watching the video over and over, like your expression, like when you found out and like how.
Yeah, I really didn't believe it. I was, I was like, this is a joke. I really thought it was a joke. And then it was like, it's surreal. You came down like 2 weeks later, and we met and.
Surprised you.
Yeah, and it was a real thing, you know. I love it. I love everything about this whole year that we've had.
How do you describe the journey over the last year?
You know, it's so crazy to me that it's been a year. Like, it does not feel like a year to me. Like, when we were texting back and forth and I'm going, oh my gosh, like our kid anniversary day is like how is that even possible? But I mean, we both live really busy lives, so I mean, it's easy to kind of get away.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? So I think that's what it was. It was meant to be with us two, so we could grow and show, you know, show how much it means to me and to her, you know, to see that donating anything, you can change someone's life.
All right, so I want to show you my little Valentine's Day gift.
It started with an unexpected
Valentine video.
Hey Dante, my name is Lauren Larison. You've never met me before, but I've been following your story for the past several months. I was wondering if you, Dante, would be my kidney recipient. Yay! We're actually a perfect match. You're getting a kidney! Oh my goodness!
It was a family decision and gift.
I hope that Mommy can do really good.
Amen. Dante, I feel like, shares my same spirit.
You knew instantly, I'm the one.
Absolutely.
Lauren saw his story, saw a young man, a coach, choosing to help and encourage kids every day despite hours of dialysis and constant worry.
And go, fast, fast.
No better place than the gym to plan a surprise to finally meet in person. The next time they'd see each other was surgery.
I'm super excited. I was ready.
From that first Valentine
You like my shawl?
to transplant was only 29 days.
I like it.
All right, give me the hug.
A time that's bonded them forever.
Two strangers from two completely different backgrounds came together to make a life-saving, sacrifice.
Oh, I love you even more. This has been one of the best experiences of my life.
I second that. Absolutely. I think just because she gave me an opportunity to do a lot of stuff I thought I couldn't do. Like, my whole life shifted from March to September. I felt like myself again, like myself in high school, because that's when it happened. I was just back to what I felt like was good. Everything went up. My energy was up. My appetite was up. I could eat all day now. I just didn't feel like there was nothing holding me back anymore.
When you can literally join hands with a stranger and literally become family with them, you know what I mean? Why not? Why wouldn't you want to do that? It's just a blessing all the way around. It really is.
I appreciate it every day. I'm thankful for it every day.
An amazing story. All right, straight ahead, local couples taking their romance to the next level on this holiday dedicated to love.
Views, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hate cliffhangers.
They would wait the next week. What's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going.
All right, Americans are waiting longer these days to say I do. Georgia's marriage rate is the 19th lowest in the nation. This is according to the U.S. Census Bureau. But some couples in Gwinnett County are using Valentine's Day to bump up those stats.
I pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your beautiful bride. Congratulations.
More than 50 couples got married for the very first time or renewed their vows in the downtown area of Lawrenceville today. The Parks and Rec Department, along with the county's magistrate and probate courts, hosted this annual celebration. The ceremonies are free to anyone with a valid Georgia marriage license. And that's a big deal here, the real deal, since bridal website The Knot estimates that the average cost in Atlanta, the average cost for a wedding in Atlanta is almost $22,000.
Telling you, that's the way to go.
That or free?
Yeah.
Free is the way to go. That's right.
That's it.
Hey, and it's cold out there, and it's going to be chilly tomorrow. We'll gradually warm up for the weekend, and then rain returns next week.
All right, well, hey, stick around. Primetime rolls on at 10, and this trio will see you on 11Alive at 11 on Up Late.
And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers. I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, call me, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You can assume what the doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
Stop.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chester.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary. Yeah, right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less.
We begin with breaking news tonight. Just in the last hour, a Valentine's dinner ended in gunfire. 3 people shot inside the Old Lady Gang restaurant in Camp Creek Marketplace. Singer and Atlanta Housewives star Candy Burris owns the popular restaurant in East Point.
And right now, police are looking for the man who walked in and then began firing. We have a crew headed to the scene. You can look for updates on the 11Alive News app. Also, we will have updates for you in this broadcast and up late on 11Alive in about 60 minutes. Now at 10, a deadly shooting in Douglasville near 2 elementary schools.
Police got the call of a person shot around 6:30, well after students had been dismissed. It happened on Oak Street, close to Burnett Elementary and Eastside Elementary Schools. John Sherrick has more from the scene tonight.
Douglasville police continue to work this crime scene throughout the night. We are on Oak Street at Connolly Drive.
just off of I-20 and Highway 92. A woman who lives here tells me she'd just gotten home from making a hamburger run when suddenly her dog started barking wildly. She looked outside and saw a young man collapsed in the middle of Oak Street. She began to scream. Someone call 911. Well, a neighbor had just called 911. First responders got here, but they were not able to save the young man they found on Oak Street, shot to death. Crime scene investigators have been walking up and down the street, going to nearby neighborhoods, looking for evidence, possible evidence, putting down crime scene markers, possibly next to shells that they found. A lot of broken glass here on the street. Police continuing to try to find out who this victim was, where he lived, who his family was, trying to develop whether there might have been any witnesses. People who live here say they didn't hear any shots. One woman says her TV was on, and that's why she didn't hear any gunshots. But police trying to develop some leads to figure out who did this and why.
New tonight, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office has released dash cam and body cam video of a man driving 126 miles per hour.
Of course, this is on Georgia 400. Where else could it be? But what they found in his car after pulling him over led to even more charges.
Trying to catch up to a silver Dodge Challenger excess of 126 miles an hour.
126 miles an hour?
My wife is...
Don't go reaching, don't reach.
No, I'm sorry. My driver's license is
Here, step out of the car for me. You don't have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
Oh, come on over here.
No, I'm sorry. No,
come on over here. Come in front of my car. I just didn't like you reaching, man. Come on.
No, I don't want... I don't have nothing.
All right, cool.
I don't want... Hey, I just try to get to my wife.
Can I pat you down real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please don't lock me up for that. I heard my wife...
Did I say I was locking you up for that? Here's what... Relax, okay? Relax. You relaxed, I'm relaxed, okay? I'll just place your hands behind your back.
You finna lock me up?
Yes, sir.
Please, I'm not even... No, I just won't. Please let me talk to my wife.
We'll let you call.
No, wife. I'm talking about wife.
That's 27-year-old Daryl Chino Cox being arrested for reckless driving and marijuana possession, but he got away from the arresting deputies and took off running.
He's running.
Get on the ground.
What I need you to do is I need you to take some deep breaths and relax for us. Listen to me. I just want you to relax for me. You're not going to get hurt.
Cox is now facing a slew of additional charges. Tonight, he is being held without bail inside the Forsyth County Jail.
A jury is trying to sort through a strange case involving a Superior Court judge, a district attorney, and a convicted child molester. Gwinnett County Superior Court Judge Catherine Schrader is on trial. She's accused of hiring a private investigator and his team to look through her computer. She wanted to find evidence that someone from the district attorney's office was hacking it. The private eyes team included convicted sex offender Ed Kramer. A jury is trying to decide if Schrader is guilty of felony computer crimes. She is facing up to 45 years in prison.
Tonight, we're hearing for the first time from the family of a 95-year-old woman who died in a house fire after the fire captain was suspended for trying to save her life. The Atlanta Fire Department says that Captain Daniel Dwyer violated its policy by not waiting for other firefighters before going into the home to look for Sally Scrine. He was able to pull her onto the porch, but she died a short time later at Grady Hospital. In a statement, the family says they would like to thank the fire department for all that was done that day to save their mother and grandmother. They go on to state they recognize the sacrifices firefighters make daily to protect the lives and properties of its citizens, and they pray for continued protection as they battle dangerous situations. Captain Dwyer is now appealing his 4-day suspension. The fire department told us it cannot comment on the case because it's not been fully resolved.
If it was a girl who had been attacked by a school staffer, the district would have reacted differently. That's the claim from a family accusing Atlanta Public Schools of failing to protect their son from a parapro charged with repeatedly sexually assaulting him. They're suing the district now in federal court. Joe Hankey is following the story tonight.
Sanchez Waller worked at Bunch Middle School in southwest Atlanta as a paraprofessional until his arrest and firing from Atlanta Public Schools in May of 2018. A federal lawsuit filed this week names Waller, APS Superintendent Maria Karstarfin, and Associate Superintendent Tommy Usher as defendants. In the lawsuit, the plaintiffs allege in 2017 Waller punched and grabbed a boy student in the genitals at school, but the plaintiff says APS violated its own policy and did not properly investigate the complaint and did not take other appropriate actions against Waller. Instead, the lawsuit alleges he returned to work the same day. The parents of a 13-year-old boy believe a lack of action by the district allowed for their son to later become a victim. In the spring semester of 2018, Waller is accused of sexually assaulting the teen 7 different times at the school. This flyer from the school shows on May 4th the school honored Waller as Support Staff of the Year. The next day, the boy told his parents about the alleged assaults, and they then filed a complaint with the school. Days later, Waller would be arrested and fired by APS, but before being fired, the federal lawsuit states Waller encouraged students to threaten and intimidate the teen. The plaintiffs say this led to harassment and bullying, with students telling the boy he would be jumped or his home would be shot up if he returned to the middle school in the fall or later attended a nearby APS high school.
APS today released a statement where a district spokesman said the district is aware of the criminal charges Waller is facing. And when asked about the federal lawsuit filed this week, he said APS doesn't comment on active litigation, but they dispute this matter being handled improperly. A domestic dispute turned deadly in Paulding County. A man is accused of shooting his family and killing his 21-year-old stepson. Earl Weems is accused of shooting his wife, Takia Weems, his stepson, Amari Beavers, and Amari's girlfriend, Ebony Copeland, Tuesday evening at the family's home in Dallas, Georgia. Takia and Ebony survived. Amari died. Right now, Weems is charged with aggravated assault, but investigators say more charges could be filed soon.
The last round of the voting machines have been shipped out to 6 Georgia counties, including Gwinnett, which is the second largest county in the state. There are now 30,000 new machines spread out across Georgia. Election officials who are just receiving them have about 2 weeks to test them before early voting begins in Georgia's presidential primary, and security is top of mind. They are testing everything on these machines, from the touch screens to the scanners to the ballot box, to make sure they're all set, ready, and able to go.
We've done inspections of polling locations and warehouses around the state. We are supplying cameras for the counties that they can monitor and we can monitor. So we have thought about security thoroughly, given the environment we're in.
Early voting begins March 2nd. The primary is March 24th.
Georgia's newest U.S. Senator Kelly Loeffler made a rare campaign appearance in Marietta today. She's trying to fight off a challenge from Republican Congressman Doug Collins, and she's converted a former skeptic. 11Alive's Doug Richards has more on who that is and why.
The event here in Marietta was easily the highest profile event Senator Loeffler has done since she took office a month ago. Kelly Loeffler was at the center of a tour of a pro-life women's clinic blocks from the Marietta Square.
How's it going?
In tow was Governor Brian Kemp, the man who made the controversial call to appoint the wealthy campaign donor and political newcomer to fill the Senate seat of Johnny Isakson.
In short, I'm impressed. She's only been up there a month, but she's already getting the job done. Over the last, absolutely.
Less impressed is Congressman Doug Collins, the North Georgia Republican who says he will challenge Loeffler in this November's special election. Democrat Raphael Warnock, pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church, will also try to unseat Loeffler.
Hey, Senator, how are you?
Loeffler's visit here was staged to show her anti-abortion commitment, an issue that she hopes will draw a core of conservative voters to her candidacy.
They understand my pro-life focus, and I've backed that up by my action in the Senate, sponsoring 4 pro-life bills.
And it nullified a warning issued by the anti-abortion Susan B. Anthony's List, which wrote in November that Loeffler's presence on the board of Grady Hospital, which it called a training ground for abortionists, should disqualify her from the Senate seat. In Marietta, the woman who wrote that retracted it and described Loeffler as a pro-life partner.
Just say that I was surprised by joy and didn't realize fully who Kelly was then, but now I know, and we're excited about the future.
Meantime, Collins Camp tells us Doug Collins' pro-life credentials are second to none and were earned through years of fighting for the cause.
I hope Georgians now know that as a Christian and lifelong pro-life conservative, I will always defend life. I will...
Loeffler is expected to get another Democratic opponent next week when former U.S. Attorney and State Senator Ed Tarver announces he's running.
I shouted out, "You know it ain't me, you know it ain't me. I'm not the perpetrator. I'm not your guy."
It is an awful story. Jimmy Gardner sat in prison 26 years for a crime that a court would later rule he did not commit. Stories like these of Mr. Gardner's that have prompted Fulton County to create the state's first unit to take a second look at cases that defendants claim the state got wrong.
I don't think that any human being should spend 1 second in a jail if that person is not justly convicted.
A Reveal investigation takes a look at who is asking for a second chance to prove their innocence tonight on Up Late at 11.
Well, you've been feeling that cold air out there today. It is going to be even colder tonight, waking up in the morning with temperatures below freezing, and then it gradually warms up a little bit as we head through the weekend. We'll pinpoint those temperatures and when the rain returns coming up.
The shelves are nearly empty in one local disaster preparation store. What's driving people to stock up?
Your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're convenient.
But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and
cliffhangers.
They would,
New details tonight as China is now locking 1.5 million people inside their homes just to keep the deadly coronavirus from spreading. New numbers tonight show more than 1,500 people have died from the virus in China, and there's now more than 66,000 in the country. Here in the U.S., the CDC has reported 15 cases, none reported in Georgia.
I'm Hope Ford, and I'm inside True Prep. It's a Marietta-based store designed for people wanting to prepare for emergency situations and worst-case scenarios. And lately, a lot of the shelves are being emptied because of the coronavirus.
This normally is full.
True Prep co-owner Joey Smith says water filtration, first aid, and food are in high demand.
Can't even get it out on the shelves fast enough.
And this is the only mask left in the entire store.
I'd say 3 weeks ago, we probably had about 800 masks on hand. We're completely sold out of those masks now.
The Ebola outbreak was the last time True Prep saw a big rush like this. Now, customers keep asking about coronavirus updates, prompting employees to show the information on this store monitor.
That uncertainty worries people even more.
Uncertainty is why Daniel Medina wanted to prepare, especially after hearing 200 people who returned to Georgia from China were self-monitoring for symptoms.
You're basically trusting them to say, hey, I'm sick and I'm promise not to go anywhere.
Smith knows survivalists and preppers sometimes get a bad rap, but he says prepping for the coronavirus is no different than preparing for any natural disaster.
It puts their mind at ease because they feel like I've done something to protect myself. If something does happen in the future, I'm ready.
All right, weekend is here. The countdown to all of us getting out of here and rolling Gilligan's Island is now underway.
I don't know what type of week it was, Chris. I know you had some ups and downs for the past couple of weeks with the weather, but I think we're a little ready to go. Maybe because it's Valentine's Day and we're here.
I think everybody's ready for a weekend. You know, we've been dealing with snow last weekend and then rain, floods this week, freezing temperatures today, and then we had the tornado earlier in the week. and it's just been crazy. So we've had a lot that we've been dealing with this week, and finally, we're going to get a break in the rain and the soggy conditions over the weekend, but it is still going to be chilly, though. Right now, we are in the 30s. 39 degrees is our temperature here in town. It's 37 in Marietta, 35 in Rome, and in Calhoun, 36 in Dalton. As you go over to the east of 85, the only place where we see 30s right now is in Covington. Everybody else here on the east side is in the 40s, like Athens. You're at 43 degrees. Now, we've got a little bit of a breeze, and it's not a lot of wind, but right now it's just northwest at 9 miles an hour. But it's enough of a breeze still to make those temperatures feel a little bit cooler. 33 is the wind chill here in Atlanta. Feels like it's freezing in Marietta. Feels like it's 29 in Dalton. You can see some of those winds, 8-mile-an-hour winds in Dalton. We did have 13 and 16-mile-an-hour winds in Atlanta earlier. Now it's at 9-mile-an-hour winds. So as you can see, winds generally less than 10 miles an hour. But any type of breeze you get with these cold temperatures, it's going to make it feel a little bit cooler to you. So we're going to watch these temperatures falling while you're sleeping tonight. We will be still just above freezing at midnight, but we think by 2 o'clock in the morning we'll be below freezing, getting to 31 degrees, and then overnight down to 30. And then I do think we'll get back to freezing at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then above freezing after that. By 10 o'clock, we'll be at 38 with plenty of sunshine around. So we're in a dry pattern, and I think a lot of folks are excited that not only that we're in a dry pattern, but it times out for a weekend as well. We start off at 30 in the morning, get up to 54 in the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. On our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day, we're going to give it a 9 on the wazometer. Now, watch this blue line. That's the freezing line. I know it's kind of meandering here, but that shows where we'll see those temperatures that will be at or below freezing. North of that is where those temperatures will be below freezing. And then you can see at lunchtime, we're all above freezing with temperatures that will be moving up into the 40s and then eventually into the mid 50s in the afternoon tomorrow. We begin to see a few changes coming in on Sunday. It's not going to be completely overcast all day long, but we're going to see a few more clouds that'll be mixing in with the sunshine at times. Latest model runs indicating a couple of showers possible south of Atlanta on Sunday, but then Monday we're going to go back to just a low risk for a few showers at about a 20% chance. And then Tuesday is the day with the highest rain chance. So let me show you that. You can see Monday a couple of showers to the south, and then Tuesday the better coverage of rain that we're going to have in our area. And then things get kind of iffy going into Wednesday and Thursday. I'm still going to hold on to a low rain chance here for Wednesday, and the Euro model has been a little bullish on moisture coming in for Thursday. The GFS has moisture in here mixing in with colder air, and it's trying to hint at a little bit of winter weather. I'm not willing to say that right now. I'm not going to put that out there until I see more confidence in the models, and we'll know more about that through the weekend and into next week. 54 for a high Saturday, 58 on Sunday with mostly sunny skies Saturday. A few more clouds though Sunday, 20% chance for a shower. Warmer air Monday at 64, 66 Tuesday with that better chance for rain. A couple of showers still Wednesday with a high of 58, and then Thursday, that's the big question mark right now, folks, is we're going to be watching these models come together with the precip and the colder air and how that's going to mix. And then partly cloudy Friday with temperatures that'll be around 53 for a high. Here's a look at your wow weather moment. This is from one of our 11Alive community storm trackers, Mary Beth Etheridge from the Stockbridge area. This is a red-tailed hawk. And not only is that beautiful, but then the blue sky is also beautiful as well. This is our weather wow moment of the day. If you would like to be a part of that and have us consider your picture or video for a weather wow moment, then join our 11Alive Community Storm Trackers page on Facebook. All you have to do is search 11Alive Storm Trackers, click on that group, ask to become a member, we'll approve you, and then you can be a part of this growing exclusive weather community.
I'm Francesca Amaker with the A-Scene. Aspiring singers, are you looking for your big break? Well, a singing competition is going down this weekend, and they're looking for the best. Yeah, details on where you can try out. It's coming up in the A-Scene. Legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it. It's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about your voice? It is never too loud.
Did you shell out big bucks this Valentine's Day? Ron Jones caught up with some big and little spenders this holiday weekend.
The last minute hunt is on this Valentine's Day weekend.
Bouquet of roses, a flower with candy.
A few last minute things, so.
Many are hoping to make this holiday something special.
Dinner and, yeah, steak.
But it's gonna cost to get cozy. Spending up to 21% this Valentine's Day weekend compared to last year. That's according to the National Retail Federation. The average person spent about $160 for their sweetie last year, with that number now kissing 200. So what are lovers splurging on?
You're thinking about candy, flowers, dinner maybe, or?
Yeah, we're going out tonight. Yeah, going out to eat, yes.
Dinner, candy, movies, flowers are a big chunk of that expense.
It's not going to be too expensive.
But some are cutting the cost of love by being creative.
I'm making dinner.
Oh, you're making dinner. So you're saving money then by making dinner. You don't have to take her out to...
Well, actually, I went to a deli and they made dinner.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Friday's edition of the A Scene, and we are kicking off with a huge casting call for the hit original series, Doom Patrol. Yep, you got it. In fact, casting producers need actors for scenes that kind of sound like the circus, like literally. The Southern Casting Call reports producers are looking for actors to portray clowns in an upcoming scene. Now, this is a family-friendly event, so no scary personas or anything like that, just colorful. The directors will be picking these roles, so please submit your best clown costumes with your best clown work. Filming takes place February 27th and the 28th in Conyers. All submission details are on our website. And returning to BET Network for Season 10 is America's most inspirational singing competition, Sunday Best. Music legend Kirk Franklin is returning as host. Also returning as judges are gospel songstress Erica Campbell and Grammy Award nominated artists Miss Kelly Price and Jonathan McReynolds. And guess what? There's an open call audition tomorrow. Be there. It's happening at the House of Hope off Flat Shoals Parkway from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, it's going down tomorrow. Tell all your friends that sing. Atlanta auditions will be filmed for television, and you have to be 18 years or older, and you must be prepared to sing a specific list of songs, okay? And we have all the details on 11alive.com/theacene.
All right, thanks, Fran. Hope Fran is out having a great Valentine's Day, and that's my cue to head out to get ready for Up Late, coming up in about 35 minutes.
Great Valentine's Day for you means work, but it also means You know, you'll be done within about an hour.
I was with you. Easy peasy.
What could be better than that?
Right? I agree.
Sorry, my wife is calling me right now saying that is not so good. All right, have a great weekend.
You too, Jeff.
All right, coming up on the Big 36, where news is king, a new billboard sparks calls for a boycott, but is it a bust? That's up for you to decide coming up next.
Where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, movement ain't fading. You could assume what the doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Okay,
Right.
About that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Breaking news on this Friday night to begin our second half hour. And as we reported in the first half hour of the broadcast, a Valentine's dinner ended in gunfire. 3 people shot inside the Old Lady Gang restaurant. That's in Camp Creek Marketplace. They are expected to be okay. Singer and Atlanta Housewives star Candy Burris owns the popular restaurant in East Point. And right now, police are looking for the man who walked in and then just opened fire. We have a crew headed to the scene. You can look for updates on the 11Alive news app. Now to our other headlines tonight. Crimes against children are some of the hardest to report, most difficult to think about, and here we are talking about it this evening. Tonight, police are investigating a sexual assault in a first-grade classroom. A DeKalb County mother says the school failed to protect her son when another 6-year-old targeted him. She sat down exclusively with Caitlin Ross, and we are protecting her identity because her child was the alleged victim of the sex crime.
He writes me love notes every day. If I'm still asleep when he wakes up, he's the one kissing my forehead.
Her 6-year-old used to write, "Mommy, I love you." Now he tells her he's scared.
Now he's writing himself notes to beat somebody up when they touch him. So something that he used to do for me is now getting turned into something else because he's afraid of going to school.
Afraid because she says he has been molested 3 times in the past 3 weeks. The first time on a school bus.
He had pulled up his shirt, pulled down his pants, and tickled his pee-pee on the bus. Of course, me being furious, all types of thoughts started running through my mind. I started trying to ask him more questions to see if anything else had happened.
She says the administration at Rock Chapel Elementary School made excuses.
He was horsing around. He's a wild kid, and he was just doing what he normally does, and it was an accident.
But a week later, she says it happened again. Her son arrived at school bleeding with a fat lip. He told his mom the other boy hit his head and molested him again.
I let them do the investigation. She contacted me back and told me that the bus driver that day was a substitute bus driver, and that she assured me that my baby was safe now after that.
She says the school told her the 2 boys would be kept apart, but it happened again, this time in a classroom.
My son was afraid, of course, not knowing what's gonna happen, because he's already been molested 3 times with this child, and nobody is helping him out.
She says she was told a teacher witnessed what happened and pulled the other little boy off, but no one called police. She says she was told the other little boy was then put in a different classroom.
She just kept telling me how, everybody's up to speed now, and basically now, this time, they're gonna do it right this time. After the 3rd time my son has been molested in their care.
According to the DeKalb County Student Handbook, sexual misconduct at the elementary level should have triggered an automatic 6 to 10 day suspension. We asked the school district whether the other child was disciplined. In a statement, they told us the safety of every student is always a top priority for the DeKalb County School District, and school police are aware of the allegations. But this is an open and ongoing investigation, so they are not able to provide a statement at this time. The mom says the situation has left her feeling helpless.
For me to promise him that he's going to be safe and then it happened to him again, it just makes me feel like I failed him as well.
The mother says her son is going for a forensic interview with police next week. What an awful story this is. She is hoping to find somebody for him to talk to after that. A Gwinnett County officer accused of stomping on a driver's head is set to take his own defense next week. Cell phone video shows another officer punching the driver in the face, a big guy there, with a 2017 stop. Prosecutors say that Robert McDonald then joined in assaulting the driver once he was on the ground. Both officers were fired by Gwinnett. Man, that's a big forearm. Jennifer Bellamy following the testimony from Today for Us.
What this trial will come down to is if Robert McDonald's use of force was justified during this traffic stop. Now, here's another look at the moment in question. In the video, it appears the suspect, Demetrius Hollins, is laying handcuffed on the ground. McDonald appears to walk up, this is a moment here, and kick him in the head. Well, today in court, the prosecution called a sergeant with the Gwinnett County Police Department to testify how officers are taught to react in certain situations and how much force they should use, especially if a suspect is already in handcuffs.
It's situational dependent.
Okay.
If the person's standing and kicking another officer here and you show up, you can do a kick to their groin. You can do a knee to the common peroneal to drop them. You can grab a wrist and do a wrist lock for pain compliance until they stop.
Now, you got your guy in handcuffs. He was acting the fool, but now he's compliant and cooperative. Would there be any more necessity for any more defensive tactics?
None. That point, yes.
Ultimately, it will be up to the jury to decide whether McDonald's use of force was justified. His partner, Michael Bongiovanni, was also charged with assault for punching the driver, but he took a plea deal to avoid prison time and testified against McDonald. You can watch his testimony right now on 11alive.com and download the 11Alive app for updates as this trial continues into next week.
All right, if you follow me on Facebook, Jeff Hullinger, 11Alive, over the years, you know I like to do a lot of stories on Atlanta, you know, maybe the Atlanta that we don't cover a lot on local television or you read in the AJC, stories that oftentimes are, you know, small stories that have, you know, big interest. And one of the contenders this week for the Best Picture Oscar was the movie 1918. And the World War I movie has really renewed interest in a conflict mostly forgotten by time. But Atlanta's contribution to the war to end all wars was Camp Gordon, which is now PDK Airport. It was sprawling. It was massive of white and African-American soldiers. It was just a mammoth. And the Emory University medical team also was based there. And it was led by a focused young woman named Camille O'Brien.
She was recognized worldwide. I mean, she's on that monument, the World War I monument down at Pershing Point. She's on, the family originally came from Warren County, so she's on the marker down in Warren County.
And also at Emory.
And Emory too, yeah.
Roswell's William Cawthon is the great-nephew of Ms. O'Brien. He has been learning recently about her life he didn't know.
Because, believe it or not, my grandmother never mentioned her sister. The only thing I knew was that there was that trunk in the attic, had all that stuff in it that I played with as a kid.
And she complained of feeling bad.
To learn more, Mr. Cawthon contacted the local serviceman turned cop turned historian Michael Hitt. It seems the great aunt had been a nurse with the famed Emory University unit in Chambly, then 1918 France, and World War I helping American soldiers.
Camille had graduated from St. Joseph's Hospital training in 1916. When she discovered, you know, when the war came about, she didn't have to do anything, but she joined the Army Nurses Corps.
Camille O'Brien could have come home after the armistice in November of 1918, but she didn't. She was still attending to injured American soldiers.
During the war, the chaplain Allgood was quoted in 1921 when he worked with her during the war. She was noticed coming to work ill several times, and she'd be admonished for it. And he said her response was always, "I cannot rest while we're bringing in more wounded than we can bandage."
In early April 1919, Ms. O'Brien contracted spinal meningitis. She refused treatment, asking soldiers be looked at instead. She died April 18th. 2 years later, under military escort, her flag-draped casket was brought home to Atlanta and Greenwood Cemetery, buried in an unmarked grave.
It is something that is unbelievable because for 98 years that lady laid in an unmarked grave here in Atlanta, and I thought she was buried in France.
Michael Hitt made the discovery through his research, and he found O'Brien in Greenwood and led the charge for a cemetery headstone.
The family alive today was never told about any of this. It was totally new to them. In fact, they were in shock when they heard she was here.
And now her life will never be forgotten through the generations.
She is a symbol of sort of a forgotten contingent of those who served.
Some of Camille O'Brien's items have been donated to a collection at the Atlanta History Center, including a Tiffany's Red Cross badge and letters and a jewelry box as well. Disturbing new updates in the death of a missing 6-year-old girl out of South Carolina, what investigators found coming up next.
And it's Valentine's night. Temperatures are really cold out there. It's going to be even colder here by tomorrow morning. Stay with us. I'll tell you about the gradual warming trend and when we're going to see the rain showers return.
We have made it here to Northport, Florida, where the Braves have already started spring training.
Yeah, coming up after the break, we're going to get you caught up on everything Braves that's happened so far.
News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're convenient.
But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You were, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home from different.
A 30-year-old neighbor is now linked to the death of a South Carolina girl who disappeared earlier this week. Police have not said that Cody Taylor killed 6-year-old Faye Sweatlick, but they are not seeking anyone else in this case. The neighbor's body was discovered yesterday, shortly after police discovered Faye's body in some woods. The girl disappeared Monday while playing in the front yard after school. Investigators say they were able to find her body after discovering evidence in a trash can. Police say they had interviewed the neighbor and even been inside his home before finding the girl's body. His house is about 150 feet away from around the corner from where the girl's family lives. Tonight, police insist the community is safe.
At this time, I want to assure you, our community, and all of our parents out there that we have no reason to believe that there is an active threat in the Churchill Heights community or the city of Casey as a whole.
Police say the neighbor had no known criminal history. At this point, they have not said how he or the little girl died. There is a claim online that says that Nancy Pelosi funded the impeachment hearings by pulling money from Social Security. It claims to be a fact check, but our Verify team found out it does not live up to that name. Here's Jason Puckett.
Fact check. Yes, Nancy Pelosi moved billions from SSI to cover impeachment costs. Except she didn't. This is false, or more accurately, it's satire. Let me show you why it's not true and then talk about why it's alarming. Most of these posts link to freedomfictions.com. See, fiction is literally in the name. That's the first red flag. Then in the article, second line, quote, the report was made in an article published on a satire network. Back in November, the same claim got hundreds of thousands of shares from an article on PotatriotsUnite.com, another satire site. This made-up fact check sort of resurrected that older claim. That's because Freedom Fictions and Potatriots Unite are both run by the same person, Christopher Blair. Now, he calls himself a satirist. All we can show is that he's a prolific creator of fictional news articles and headlines. There are more sites, Obama Watchers, Conservative Tears, and WeAreTheLastLineOfDefense.com. But here's the problem. While Blair's articles do say satire and the websites brand themselves satire, that's not always obvious. On Facebook, for instance, the fake fact check was shared more than 750,000 times. And when you look at it, the headline doesn't say satire. And while fiction is in the name of this post, that's not always the case either. Other outlets took this article and posted it as well. Now, they're not real news sites, but their names are a bit more convincing. And that's why this can be dangerous. Sometimes all you see of a story is a headline. If it was this one, you'd get really bad information without any obvious clues that it's false. We also live in an era where people deliberately manipulate political division to get clicks, kind of like dangling red meat in a lion's den. But remember, satire is protected free speech. We can't stop people from posting these kinds of stories, but we can do our own due diligence to make sure something is true. And if you can't, well, you can always send it our way before you share.
Well, this is a nice thing to see on a Friday night, and that's a very boring looking radar image. No rain in our area right now, and as we widen out and you look around the southeast, the only rain we see here is moving off the coast of Florida, pushing down to the south. Nothing really going on over a big part of the country right now, and that's good news. Heading into the weekend, that means nothing major is going to be moving our way. Now, we do have cold air in place. We moved down into the 30s here at the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to drop another degree or two once we get to the 11 o'clock hour. And those temperatures will keep falling overnight. We'll eventually bottom out around 30 degrees here early in the morning. It's 36 in Canton, 27 right now in Blairsville. That's not the wind chill. That's the actual temperature. Here's a look at some of the wind chills. We have 33 for the wind chill here in Atlanta. That's how it feels to you. The wind is not that bad, but it's just enough of a breeze, northwest at 9 miles an hour, that gives us just that little bit of a wind chill and makes it feel a little bit colder. 32 is the wind chill right now in Marietta. You can see here the wind's not that bad. Now, that wind chill and temperature in Blairsville were the same because they're not really seeing much of a wind. But where we do have some of those breezes, that's where that wind chill comes down just a little bit. So for the next 12 hours, just know these temperatures are going to continue to fall as you're asleep tonight. Early in the morning, we will be below freezing, and then depend on when you wake up. Now, I know it's a Saturday morning. Maybe some of you will wait until after 8 o'clock to wake up when we're back to above freezing temperatures. But I do think we'll be below freezing from 2 in the morning till about 8 in the morning, and then we'll be above freezing as that sunshine's coming through, and that's going to help to warm things up a little bit. So here's the wazometer for your Saturday. This is our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. We're going to go with a 9, a low of 30 degrees in the morning, and then we get up to 54 in the afternoon with a mostly sunny sky. The forecast track, it's kind of boring as well. We've got a boring radar and a boring forecast track for Saturday where we see dry weather conditions. It will be getting up there into the mid-50s, just a little bit warmer tomorrow than it was today. And then going into Sunday, we're beginning to see a few more clouds that will start moving in. It's not going to be a total overcast sky, but just a few more clouds mixing in with that sunshine. At this point, we're thinking any rain would be a really low chance down to the south on Sunday afternoon, with that mix of sunshine and clouds here. Once we get into Monday, the rain chance does go up a little bit to about 20%. And then into Tuesday, that's where we're going to see those higher rain chances. So enjoy the dry next couple of days here. A few more clouds, though, build in Sunday with highs warming up to 58. Speaking of warming, look at the 60s for Monday and Tuesday, but also the rain chances going up. 20% Monday, 60% Tuesday, 40% Wednesday, and then watching Thursday very closely as the models are kind of flip-flopping a little bit and they're not in agreement. Right now we're calling for a 30% chance for some showers with some colder air moving in. And then Friday, partly cloudy skies and even a little cooler at 53.
It is baseball time in Florida, and soon it will be here in Atlanta. But the NBA All-Star Weekend in Chicago is the place to be. Friday night, the Rising Stars game. The Hawks' Trae Young on the USA team taking on the World Stars. Didn't take long for him to wow the crowd, as he was just terrific. Did so many things with his marvelous skill. Looked like he was having a lot of fun. And tonight, just so much to see of great young talent, as Colin Sexton from Pebblebrook High School also with a strong night. It's going to be a busy weekend for Trae. He'll be in the three-point contest on Saturday, and he is a starter in the All-Star game on Sunday. So from basketball, The convergence to baseball. Braves pitchers and catchers working out, soon to be joined by the entire team. We have team coverage in Northport. Here goes.
Alex Glaze and Maria Martin in Northport, Florida.
It is day 3 of spring training for the Braves. The pitchers and catchers, they reported a little bit earlier in the week, but there's also some other guys that are here in Florida already.
Yeah, Ronald Acuna, Ozzy Albies, Johan Camargo, Ender Inciarte. Those are just a couple of the guys that we know are already here right now getting that early work in. And I have a feeling, the full squad's not supposed to report until Tuesday, but as we get, earlier and closer to Tuesday, I think more guys are going to start to show up earlier than Tuesday.
For sure, and I think that there are already some big storylines here in Florida. One of the biggest, Cole Hamels, he's not here with the team.
What's another one of those big storylines that you're looking forward to, though?
Marcell Ozuna. He was a big pickup for the Braves in the offseason, adds a big bat to the lineup that Braves fans know very well. So it'll be fun to see him and how he mixes in with those younger guys.
All right, well, we're going to be keeping an eye out for Ozuna, and we got a lot more stories that we're going to be covering right here from Northport over the next couple of days. So you'll be wanting to follow us on social media and on air right here on 11Alive.
It is always one of the great treats of working in Atlanta broadcasting, and that's spending time at spring training. It's the most well-known high school all-star game of all. Magic, Jordan, LeBron, Maya Moore, all have played in the McDonald's All-American game. And you can add Woodward Academy senior Walker Kessler to that list. He is a big young man. Kessler received his jersey during a ceremony at the school. He is a 7-footer whose father and uncle and brother all played at UGA. His late uncle, Alec Kessler, was a Bulldog star. Walker is heading to Chapel Hill to play for the Tar Heels, but first he will be in Houston April 1st for the All-American game.
It's a blessing, obviously. I've had so many good people around me that have helped me to come along this way, and I'm glad someone can recognize the work that I put in, and not only that, but realize that the people I have around me are great and that they've pushed me to get to this point in my life now.
There will be 2 Metro Atlanta players in Houston. McEachern's Sharif Cooper is also on the team. And from our friends at Born to Compete, Team 1-1 basketball, Alexander and Chattahoochee. Alexander running the break to perfection. Nice passes eventually. It is Jaylen Brown who drops it in. Tight game throughout. Then Hooch with the good ball movement. Cameron Sheffield knocks down the long 3. The home fans treated to a big win tonight. Clutch basket here in the final seconds by Franklin Bailey. And Chattahoochee is your winner by 3, 69-66. That's sports. We will be back right after this.
Melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'ma do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume it.
Well, are you ready for a quiet weekend? I think a lot of people are going to be loving the fact that we can dry out tomorrow a little more. We had that opportunity today. Tomorrow, a lot of sunshine. And it's going to be a cold start, though. Waking up to temperatures at around 30 degrees. And then we get up to 54 in the afternoon. A little warmer on Sunday. I do see more clouds moving in on Sunday. At this point, the rain chances look like they'll be on the south side. Monday's rain chance is only at 20%, but look at those temperatures up to 64.
Yeah.
66 Tuesday. That's the day with the highest rain chance on Tuesday. And then lower rain chances Wednesday. Still watching Thursday very closely as the models are trying to indicate a little moisture coming in, mixing in with some colder air. So we'll keep an eye on that as we get closer to it. And then dry Friday, partly cloudy skies with high temperatures. That'll be around 53 degrees for the end of the week.
Oh, you know, finally. Wow.
Drying out. We want a quiet weekend, don't we?
We do indeed. I know you do.
Yes.
You've earned it. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it here on the Big 36. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
All we feel is good vibes. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and